Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, July 9th, 2024. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 848, powered by NZXT. I am your host, Jan Ochoa, welcoming you to this lovely podcast today. We've assembled some hard hitters because the hard hitters have been hit hard and they're ready to pod. We're all ready to pod together. Co-captain of the ship triumphantly returning to the podcast, Jeff Grubb.
Hello, I'm living that M22 life. I'm a Michigander once again. I spent a week there, and that's my whole lifestyle brand now, so just get used to it.
Fantastic. And something we're all getting used to. We're getting used to his presence just being around here all the time, constantly, and we welcome it. We have GamesBeat's own Mike Minotti.
Hello, how's it going? Yes, I'm no longer in the pocket of big theme park. I am now firmly in the corner of small regional amusement park.
That's right. I've seen some pictures. They looked fantastic. But ladies and gentlemen, returning to the site, his presence has been in the walls. He is the voice inside your mind and in your hearts and perhaps in your spirit.
Oh.
Dan Reichert.
Hi, I'm back.
What happened?
They scooped out my. This is.
That's very annoying. Let me here. Hang on. Actually, this is very obnoxious too. Hang on. Let's just do this. All right. Yes, I am not 100%.
Oh my God, it's Dan Reichert. I'm sorry, you took off the mask, audio listeners.
Oh my! It was me all along. Even my immediate family bought it.
When you said you weren't going to do it that long, I thought it was going to go on longer. Not
no, it was annoying me.
Yeah, enough of that.
Yeah. Boy, that was a couple weeks. That was rough. Don't get your head scraped out and cut up on the inside a lot. You're going to have a real rough 4 days especially, and then it gets better, but it still sucks.
Wasn't it good that you got your head scooped out, though, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it needed to happen, and like I can already tell some of the benefits. I can definitely breathe better and things like that, but I'm still like in recovery mode. I'm like 80%. Those first 3 or 4 days, honestly, like the hardest days of my life, I think, in terms of just like physically and like you just can't. I was prepared for it to be bad that you can't breathe through your nose, but you don't really think about how often you're breathing through your nose until you can't do
like
it for
my
days.
number one way to breathe. Yes, like Mount Rushmore of breathing. Nose is definitely on there.
But all the things that like also like when you're swallowing, I'm trying to like hydrate and drink water, and every time you swallow, and your whole head is just filled with gunk, and you feel everything shifting and clicking around in your skull as you drink, and then blood's coming out and stuff, and it is a nasty, gross thing.
Now, Dan, you trimmed your beard and got different glasses, right?
Those both also happened, yes.
Okay, because there's going to be rumors now that the surgery actually replaced you and you're a complete doppelganger, and
it's
this
an
isn't the
Ultimate
Dan
Warrior
Reichert
situation, yes.
Chris. You're the new Doink.
Chris is here.
Yeah,
yes.
it's Chris. Yeah. So should we ask questions that only Dan Reichert would know the answer to?
Sure.
Okay. What is Yoshi's Island a mainline Mario game?
No, he plays Yoshi.
Wait.
Okay. It says Super Mario World 2 on the box.
We got a doppelganger.
Right? No. It says Super Mario World 2 on the box. Barf, barf, barf.
Dan, has anything tasted different yet?
Yes. So I have ups and downs in terms of like how much I can breathe and how congested I am. So it ups and downs, but there have been moments, glimpses where I felt totally clear. And my dad was very nice to come all the way up here from Kansas and watch after me while Bonk was on a work trip to make sure I didn't die. And we ordered Taco Bell at one point. It was the first day after I started being able to breathe through my nose, and we got Taco Bell.
Please don't tell me you don't like Taco Bell anymore. Please don't tell me you don't like Taco Bell.
No. It's the opposite. It's something I know very well. The taste of that nacho cheese with the comes with the nacho fries, the chips and cheese. Mm-hmm. It tasted the way I remember it tasting when I was a kid.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Which, yeah, it's kind of like, whoa, because I've had that so many times.
The Ratatouille scene, but for nacho cheese.
I don't get that reference, but yes. But it tasted like better, and like I love it anyway, obviously. But there have been times I've tasted something and been like, that's a little different. Or I'll step outside and I'll smell something about like nature and be like, whoa, I didn't notice that before. Like, so there are flashes of that, and I hope that becomes kind of the norm as this heals up.
Good.
Dan
Good.
re-experiencing all of his like childhood senses, just like
Fast food flavors. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
here for it.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you to like drink a Coke and a Pepsi, and maybe even a Diet Coke and a Diet Pepsi, and actually get a difference now.
No, that'll be the same, right? Barf, barf, barf.
Barf,
Yeah.
barf, barf.
Yeah. Is that what he says? I say?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
he
yeah.
like you
You're
say,
always
uh-huh.
making that noise.
Yeah,
your
it's- when I ask you to clap, you're always like burp, 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 burp.
That's what he said. Yeah, what I do. Yeah. Yeah,
That's
right.
what he,
That's
Jeff
right.
Grubb, you're also back.
Yes.
How is taking an actual vacation?
It was nice. I did a lot of fun stuff. Went to the beach a bunch of times. That was great. Went to a butterfly house. A butterfly landed on me. That was neat. It was mostly just relaxing. It was cool because we went to let's explain this. My wife's uncle's wife's family gave her a house, and it's like he's like an older guy, had an extra house, just like here's the house, and that's like in Traverse City.
Hey,
so it's like
real
nicely
quick,
located.
If
It's
anyone listening has an extra house they want to give away,
right.
right at me, baby. Let's do it. Let's
Yeah,
talk.
we should try to court that. You know the whole thing about how like Shawn Michaels was just given $2 million from some fan's will, and like he never met the guy ever, and some fan was just like, I want HBK to have $2 million of my dollars. Like, do we have fans like that? Can you set that up,
We
fans?
probably got at least one fan like that. Yeah, the house fan.
Houses, money, any that will take it all.
Horses, yeah.
Yeah.
The bummer part is the people that lived there before were smokers. They've tried to like deal with this, and we got there, and they're like, "Do you notice it?" I'm like, "Not really." And I didn't notice it the whole week. And then literally the second I got home and got out of the van and walked in our house and then walked back to the van to get all our stuff out, I'm like, this van smells like the inside of an ashtray. It's so bad. So now I'm dealing with that. Like, no complaints really. Still free place to stay, and it was a great vacation. And we didn't notice it when we were there, so it was fine. But it's like now we're dealing with that, and that was a little bit of a bummer because I brought all my new episode 1 T-shirts that I just bought from Hot Topic, and they all smell like cigarettes now. So that's a bummer. That was my my own little like protest. I wasn't like feeling super patriotic this week, so I'm like, I'll just wear episode 1 shirts instead of red, white, and blue shirts, and I felt pretty good about that. Not that I love episode 1 either.
That's the only republic I
but
stand for.
you love it more than America.
I love it exactly what I was getting at. Thank you for understanding.
All right, understood. Got it.
Because episode 1 really embraces racial stereotypes of all different denominations.
Yeah, it's a melting pot.
Yep.
I remember I episode 1, I didn't, it's a bad movie, but the way I took it in, because I worked at the theater at the time. I was an usher. And so I knew the timing for the Darth Maul, like when the doors open and the thing from the trailer. And like that part always got me hyped up. So I would just like every shift as an usher, I'd be like, all right, we're an hour 30 or whatever in. I'll walk in there, watch the Darth Maul fight and leave. And I'd be like, all right, yeah. So I have like positive memories of Phantom
There's
Menace.
definitely more good moments because you have that. You have the pod race. Like, what's the good moment episode 2? The 90-second fight between Jango Fett and Obi-Wan.
Dude,
Is it even that long?
The crowd in the theater on opening night marked the fuck out at Yoda getting a lightsaber.
Yeah, mine too.
sure.
Mine
Yeah,
too.
me too.
Yeah.
And
That
then
was
it
a crowd
happened,
pleaser.
And then I was like, oh, maybe I didn't want this. Actually. Maybe I don't know what I want.
I think in episode 2, there's like the moment where like Padme like jumps down from the pillar, like as a young lad. That was like, oh,
Oh, sure. The sexual awakening of the prequel trilogy. Definitely.
Yeah, she
that
got
was
her like
important.
midriff slashed. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you're younger, so that was your GoldenEye moment that I had. Okay.
oh,
Got it.
okay, yes,
I see.
like
Right.
GoldenEye
No,
moment.
well,
Yes.
Right, Padme squeezes the life out of a droid with her
Padme
thighs.
on a top, right?
It was actually Halle Berry in the Flintstones movie, but sure, that was.
That was
Is that
everybody.
why you think about the Flintstones so
It's
much?
just it's one of many reasons.
Yeah, it's a bonus.
I went to a flea market over the weekend, Mike, and there were a lot of Flintstones memorabilia. And
That sounds right.
I was just thinking of you the whole time, and I hate how much you've infected my mind.
I'm good. I'm
It's-
glad
it
you
doesn't get
associate
better.
me with them.
Yeah.
Good. I like this.
How was your weekend, Mikey?
Yeah, it was great. I got to hang out with Bailey and Jenny at Kennywood. They were in town, so it was kind of fun to see like people in driving distance like that. So it was a good time. Kennywood's nice because like there's some coasters there, but there's also just like a lot of like old stuff. A lot of like this is the last of its kind sort of thing. So like that stuff was all really exciting. Like it's this ride's called the Turtle, and it used to be real popular. Now it's the only one, and you just kind of go around in a circle up and down these little hills. The big thing there is Noah's Ark, also the last of its kind. It's like a fun house, but the fun house is like the size of a building, but it's rocking the entire time, like it's on the ocean.
Oh, that's
and there
messed
are
up.
there are stairs, so like people have definitely hurt themselves.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So that is really exciting. When you walk in, you go through a whale, and like they make it all spongy, so you're like walking on the whale's mouth. And then for some reason, you're in like a glow in the dark section with boxes of plants and animals. There's a big apple one I saw immediately and got upset about. But yeah, Kennywood near Pittsburgh was a very good time. Shout outs to them and to all the regional amusement parks. This is one of the few that's not owned by Six Flags, which recently merged with Cedar Fair.
Point.
Yeah, so yeah, good on them.
How much do you think it is to buy a theme park? You think we could do a regional?
I think we should buy the one in the Six Flags in New Orleans that's been shut down. Oh, I think they tore it down. Shit. It used to be like cool and spooky, and you could like sneak in there and stuff. It was cool, but I think they tore it down.
Matt Damon bought a zoo, right? If you could do that, we could do this.
Okay.
The zoo sounds like a lot of maintenance. Let's buy an amusement park and just not do maintenance.
Yeah, that's
but I mean, electrical components also require maintenance, I'm afraid.
It's just like a cathode, right? That's a word.
This is just that episode of South Park where he buys an amusement park and then like has to start like paying for the upkeep because it breaks down. And eventually he has to let people in, and it just becomes an amusement park again. You're just on phase one of the Cartman plan.
Forgot about that one. That is pretty funny. Him just pissed off riding roller coasters and stuff because other people are there.
Right.
I had a lovely weekend. Hey, special thank you to whoever you are that helped me out with attending a show on Friday. I don't know who you are, but whoever you are, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Wait, what happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
Then why'd you bring it up?
Because I wanted to say thank you.
Okay, all right. That's a tough needle to thread, but I got you.
Speaking of shows, I went to the Sphere.
What, you went to the Sphere?
Oh. Yeah.
You go watch the NHL draft? Why were you at the Sphere?
No, I saw the Darren Aronofsky thing.
Oh, that would be cool.
That thing is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That is, I knew it was going to be crazy, but it's like 16K. It's all around you. So it's almost like a VR thing in that, like, there's parts where elephants are walking over and you're like looking up and stuff. They have a word for that.
It's called Sphere.
Sure. Oh, there you go. Smart. Yeah. But yeah, so it's got that like VR effect of like, oh, you can turn your head and everything's moving properly, but you're not wearing anything on your head. It's got actual like wind and smell and stuff going on. Your seats are. That's the thing I didn't realize because I saw footage of like U2 and Grateful Dead and all that stuff. But like there is smell, there is wind, and the seats are like vibrating. So it is. And everything, it's not like, VR, there's all that kind of, what do they call it, windshielding or screen boarding or whatever the fuck it's window screening, whatever, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep, screen door effect.
Yeah, it's just crystal fucking clear, and it's just incredible. The thing that sucked is that it cost like billions of dollars. It was like over $2 billion, I want to say. They couldn't, in Las Vegas, when you have to wait outside for this, they couldn't get a tarp. It was 118 degrees.
Yeah, it's really bad.
That wasn't heat index. That wasn't heat index. It was 118 shoot degrees.
Yep.
Sun, we were waiting in line. It was like noon. It was like high noon sun, basically. I've never felt like my skin was like boiling the way that felt.
That's why you look different. You boiled away. Like literally, some of you is melted.
It was so terrible. So everyone in line is just like, there's elderly people. There are people that are wearing like long sleeve things and everything. We heard on the walkie-talkie that someone passed out. They made Bianca throw out her water. They it was like
That's
straight
crazy.
up dangerous, shitty. But yeah, so I got to say that sucked. It was 118 degrees. I was there this weekend. It was unbelievably fucking hot.
And you've been to Disneyland, so you now understand the importance of like a well air conditioned and themed line and how like that could be half the experience.
This is just tents of barriers, just looping around, and then you just wait and slowly walk forward. I literally like took my shirt and like I didn't care that I looked like an idiot. I took it up and hiked it over my head, so it's like my stomach is just bare and everything, just to try to protect my noggin.
Survival instincts.
Yeah. But the thing is ridiculous. I couldn't help but think of like I was thinking about like wrestling. Shocking. And like, because a lot of people, I wonder, like what WWE would do there or whatever. And I know UFC's doing a thing, but I don't really know how you would utilize that. It's like
it is like a stage surrounded by seats, and then the Sphere kind of like comes up right behind the stage.
It's not surrounded by seats. Think like movie theater, where it's like
movie theater. That's fine. Yes.
Yeah, there's a stage
seating
up front there, so they would be playing the same direction.
Right.
and then the sphere is just up and over and around. So there's a lot of periphery, there's a lot of up, things like that. So like, I don't like, you could do a lot of stuff with like the entrance videos and things like that, but like, I don't know what you could do that wouldn't just be distracting. It almost looked like the Thunderdome, you know, like
Right.
More bugs than ever.
Bray Wyatt stuff. Yeah. Oh, and now you got the Howdy crew. Yeah, maybe they like bugs. Yeah.
The NHL draft did
highlight.
happen there, and the way they used it was like, you know, there would be intro videos for like some of the people that were getting drafted, and then there was just like a big board of like everyone who did get drafted per team, and then who's coming up next, and it was like just a visual HUD for this live event that is normally pretty, you know, stale and kind of just like a vanilla event, but they found ways to make it more interesting. I bet most things that don't have like bespoke ideas of like how to use this will end up feeling like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of like, you know, it's been Grateful Dead, it's been U2. I was asking Bonk like, what band do you think would be great here? And she said Tool, and I was like, oh yeah, because Tool, like they do a lot of visual stuff that I think could play like a lot of places, like a lot of bands where you want to get high and go watch a bunch of trippy shit. You know, yeah. So, but I don't know about wrestling. You know, like I would be curious what they do with it because WWE loves doing gimmicks with LEDs and all sorts of stuff. But I just outside of entrance videos,
you just have that giant CGI Roman Reigns spinning the whole time.
Oh, just ejaculating, just that guy. Yeah.
I think they could do like an event there. Like they could do like Hall of Fame or something else. I don't know if you would actually do one of their wrestling shows.
Well, I mean, fucking Mania's there next year. So I'd almost be surprised if something wasn't there. NXT
they'll do
or
something
something.
in the sphere.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Mania next year in Vegas.
Oh, I want to go now. I think it's important that I go now that John Cena's retired.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey,
That's why I suddenly care.
I tune in and out of NXT a lot. I used to watch the product weekly and apologize for a mini Power Bombcast. But I watched whatever the premium live event was over this weekend. Heatwave. Holy smokes, those cats can wrestle. Jesus
Yeah, it was
Christ.
good. I didn't see it.
It was fantastic. Like
Really?
top to bottom show. I almost want to say it was almost better than Money in the Bank. But Money in the Bank, I just love it because it's one of those like
It's
annual
a
events.
staple, yeah.
It's always fun. Wire match is always fun.
My weekend was ruined though, gentlemen, because I drank something that was terrible.
Pepsi.
The
I
LA
had
Prime.
an orange Americano.
What's
Oh yeah, I saw your
Oh.
picture of this on Instagram, and I liked it, but I didn't like it. You know?
Yeah. It was what I could tell, Grub. It was one of those likes, you know.
Yes, you knew.
So for folks not in the know, an Americano traditionally is just espresso over hot water, iced Americano, espresso over ice water. An orange Americano was orange juice and espresso over it, and
It's
then
like a Yellow Russian.
I would drink two of those before this. event.
I thought
Christ.
I thought an orange Americano was Donald Trump.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us this week. Sorry for the short pod.
I love how much Minotti realized the joke sucked too.
I still had to say
He
it.
did the voice. He did the I know this joke sucks voice. I thought it was an orange Trump.
Couldn't stop myself
That
anyways.
made it way better. You're right.
It had to come out.
But I thought it was gonna be great because, like, in front of me, like the last four parties had ordered it. I'm like, oh, let's go step outside the box. Let's go do this.
Sure.
And then I take it, and it's kind of lukewarm because it was just really hot out. The ice melted. I'm like, I don't want to ask for more ice. And then I started thinking, like, wait a minute, should I mix this or should I drink the orange juice first and then the espresso goes down? And then I thought, oh, let's just mix it. And boy, howdy. Whew. Tell me it was wumbly the whole day.
Yeah, the acids don't mix there. I don't think the
No.
citric and
And it's funny because
Coffee
like
acid.
I had friends going either that looks so terrible or oh my gosh, yummy. Where do I get this?
That sounds gross.
yeah, I don't like it.
I don't want to shock anybody, but I'm kind of anti-orange juice generally anyways.
Oh,
But-
sure.
I like it pulpy.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst thing about orange juice. Oh,
It's good pulpy.
I like
More
fruit
things should be pulpy. What other drinks would be better if they were pulpy?
banana juice. That's not a thing, but like
Mountain
bananas.
Dew.
even if I get like a little bit of pulp. Like
Pulp Mountain Dew on the shelf just next to the regular pulpy Mountain Dew.
one time I had like
Prime's just filled with Logan Paul hair.
I had an orange soda that like had a little pulp in it somehow, and I could not drink the rest of it. I don't know. you figured there'd be no actual orange in orange soda.
like a Fanta?
Or
It
like
was
an
like-
Orangina?
It was like, what's the one that's like Spurt or something like that.
Squirt. I think you mean squirt, but
Not
spurt is very good too.
Squirt. No, squirt's like a lemon lime thing. I don't know.
All right, Spurt.
Well, Mike, it's not spurt. All right.
Can it be though?
You know
Yeah,
what? I
it
think
should
it
be.
is Orange Crush. I don't know why I thought it was called Spurt.
You were just thinking of Spurt.
Yeah. Do that Roman Reigns CGI guy.
Oh, there's pulp in my spurt.
Oh, he's spurting. He's spurting.
I'm gonna shoot.
I'm gonna spurt.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed this. I'm
Wait,
glad
no,
I'm back,
that's
guys.
the wrong music.
Yeah, that's good.
Video games.
It didn't have pulp, Mike. There's no way. There's no way it had pulp.
There was a particulate in there, and I did not like it.
Particulate. All right, doctor.
It was a used Band-Aid. Yeah, come on, man.
Mike.
Oh, you're loco, man.
I don't know where I put this document. Oh, there it is. Jeff Grubb, I'm actually curious about how you enjoy this game. You put on the dock here Star Wars Hunters.
Yeah, I played that Star Wars Hunters from the Video Game Corporation, founded by Don Matrick Zynga.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's actually kind of fun. I think we would have fun playing it. It's very much a mobile game in terms of, I guess, its structure, but then it's still a real shooter. Like you're going to pick one of these Star Wars characters, go into arena. It's 4v4. You have it's third person, but you have Overwatch abilities where it's like, here's your special and here's your ultimate that you can build up over time. It's very familiar, but it is a race to 20 kills, team deathmatch, at least in the main mode that I'm playing, and it's
That I be playing.
and it goes by very fast, basically. So that's what makes it feel very much like a mobile game. And it is available on Android, iOS, and then Switch, but it's free to play everywhere. I haven't spent any money on it yet, but I'm playing as luckily, like, the free character I got is the one I wanted to play as. I'll say that the Star Wars-ness of it is missing a little bit for me. Like, I'm someone who's like, I'll watch some of these Star Wars shows and I'll keep watching them because I'm like, oh, there's a droid. Oh, there's a ship that looks like it's from Star Wars. I like looking at that. Like, that's the kind of freak that I am about that stuff. And the design of these characters is mostly like, I don't know, fan fiction OC. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's fine. It's not bad. It's just not hitting my particular like zone of interest all that hard. So I was a little disappointed by that. But I also didn't have high expectations for it. So I just kind of go in, play these fast matches, have a decent time. The first couple matches are against bots, so you feel like a god, and then you start playing real people, and it's like, this is still pretty okay. So I'm enjoying it.
Is it supposed to be placed anywhere in like the Star Wars timeline, or
probably? But you know me, I'm not really paying too much attention to that. Like, I'm not concerned about that one way or the other. And they don't throw that stuff in your face. There was a cutscene in the beginning. I was like half paying attention to that because the kids were bothering. Yeah, right? Weird, huh?
Oh, so if the kids weren't bothering you, it would have had your full undivided attention. This
Of course, I respect game developers, Mike Benatti. It is. I think it's worth like us maybe even playing on the site. Okay. Like, that's where I'm at with it. Where like, this could be fun just to show people what this game is, and it's it feels, to be reductive and kind of be that asshole. It feels like a real video game. So I'm enjoying it.
Does Yoda have a lightsaber?
Yoda does not, but there are lots of little freaks. There's this guy that is a little dude that looks like he's sitting on a toilet, but
cool.
The toilet is actually an old droidica. You know those rolling droids from
Yeah.
episode
Trash can
1?
droids or
No,
not trash,
from
the
the Phantom Menace.
things?
The wheel ones from Phantom Menace, the ones that like are early on they attack. You Mystics, you
Oh
only
yeah,
watch the fight.
the bigger ones, the big
Yes.
guys. They were in
Yes.
the PlayStation 1 Phantom Menace game. Yes.
That sounds right. They should be, yes. And he can like roll in that, but then he just sits there and he's like controlling it with a controller and stuff like that. And he's a little freak. And there's several other. Yeah. There's one that is two Jawas stacked on top of one another.
Nice.
Called
Yeah, are they
U2.
wearing a trench coat?
Yeah, kinda. It looks like it.
Dr. Goomba Tower.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's that stuff's fun.
I hope that. Yeah, I mean, they just announced that new Disney Pixel RPG for
Yeah.
phones.
Yeah, we'll talk
like,
about that in the news. I had questions because I only looked very briefly before putting it in the news.
I had like 30 people tag me on that. Thank you.
Sure.
So, I guess I'm hoping Disney's putting out some decent mobile games because I would like for that to be good.
They took their time on this. This got announced a long time ago before it actually came out. and it's here, and it feels very mobile in terms of the monetization. There's a battle pass and lots of skin packs you can download and stuff like that. The core game is just it's pretty basic, but it is the kind of thing that I could see myself being like, I want a shooter on one of these handheld devices that I can pick up and play. And this one's like trying to be exactly that.
Nice.
And I think it might fit into that slot that I've been looking for. Where it's like I'm like telling myself like I'll just like play a lot of Titanfall 2 on my Steam Deck, and I haven't been doing that because I feel like it requires a little bit more investment than I'm willing to give in the moment.
Sure.
This is like the right bite-sized form of that, but that might mean it doesn't last a long time. Like it might not have the legs, but who am I? I paid $0 for it, so that's not really a complaint.
Sure. I was thinking I needed like a quicker game that's like another pick up and play versus a Fortnite, because sometimes Fortnite I get too sweaty and like I want to play more games. I didn't realize this was not only mobile. For the longest time I thought this was only
it's on Switch,
on phone.
right?
Yep. So that's where I was playing. I was playing on the Switch. It's it's just Switch and then mobile. Like it's not on any of the other consoles. I don't think it's on PC. So yeah, it's a little weird.
Jan, you want pick up and play on mobile. I'm telling you, Across 3D continues to be the
I wanna
best
shoot
possible
things,
thing to have
though.
in your pocket at any time, on planes, on
One of
anything.
the best games ever made.
It's so good on phone. Scout
there's
agrees.
been Scout agrees. Scout really likes Picross.
Scout, please.
Scout, please. I feel like there's a lot of free to play games that have come out over the past week and a half. One of those games I played on the website yesterday, Zenless Zone Zero. This is another MiHoYo joint, and this is going to financially and emotionally ruin me, gentlemen.
How many waifus did you get?
None.
many.
I got tons of wengeance.
Yeah, he was terrible at the gotcha part. His luck was very bad.
It was very bad. I got like a fancy, like shy, meek maid character with a pizza cutter sword. That was cool. This is another gotcha game. This is available
anime?
on.
Yep.
Peak anime.
It's
Dan.
anime, but it's also kind of like the aesthetic is very Jet Set Radio. It kind of looks
Okay,
cool.
so there's some cool stuff. Okay.
Very, very cool stuff. The wrappings of this, I feel like, are catered towards my tastes, and I feel targeted and assaulted by MiHoYo. I need them to get out of my brain. But I already see the trajectory of my enjoyment of this game mirroring how I enjoyed Genshin and then Honkai Star Rail, where it's free to play. And then I'll go through the gotcha elements, and I'll tell myself as hard as I can, don't spend money on it, because there's a comparable, very good game and satisfying game underneath, where Genshin was a clone of Breath of the Wild and MiHoYo was a turn-based joint. This is
Honkai Star Rail.
Honkai Star Rail, sorry. Zenless Zone Zero, to quote Turbo Sean, is Waifu May Cry, where it is an action game. It is hardcore into the combat. Each of the characters, and that being said, I only have 4 of the characters. They do control differently. So you have a basic light attack. It goes into a heavy attack. But as you embark on your like little combat missions, you have a party of 3. So you can switch between any of your characters at any point. But if you do like a perfect parry, and it's projected really, really well, and I think it's done in such a way so you can do it fine on mobile. And this, I've been playing on PC primarily, but I tried it out on my phone last night. 100% completely fine. And this could be one of those games where I'm just like laying in bed and I time travel and like, holy smokes,
Right.
I should have gone to sleep 5 hours ago. The story in it is like very boilerplate. It feels like it's okay. You are you were kind of like the guy in the chair operating, sending off like 3 of your agents into like a reboot style world where they have to embark on like different combat missions or various other things. It's done really well. It's super flashy. And I can see myself probably getting like a good chunk of time and enjoying it, not paying anything. And I think it's interesting that they've structured it that way, where I think MiHoYo is kind of, I don't want to say perfected the formula of getting their hooks into you, but I'm like mildly invested, where it's like, I could probably be playing other more substantial, bigger games or I could just keep going with like the flash in the pan of this game, and it's like it's doing enough. The other aspect of this that I really like is that they've pretty much eliminated roaming around an open world and replaced that with tiles.
Okay, now I see. Now I understand.
And like the tile element, you're just moving your little cursor, your little Bangboo. By the way, there are rabbids in this game, not actual shoot rabbids, but they're called Bangboos.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you move your little Bangboo around.
I don't know if you can
Can't say that. Jeff and I both had the same reaction. You can't say that.
Yeah.
You move your little Bangboo around.
No.
Like the CRT tile screen. And there's some light puzzle solving stuff. It's kind of like Sokoban style things where you're moving like a box to here, or you got to find the most optimum path to get to your objective or get to a pickup or whatever. And there are enemies along the way. There are various different types of currency. And the part where I am intimidated by the game, and for folks that may have watched the stream yesterday, there is a lot of currency. And it isn't easily discernible what is what at first. They do a very good job throughout like the tutorial phase, which is pretty long, of kind of drip feeding you all the information you need to know. And folks, if you just want to play the game, you can skip the story 100%. You could bun through that crap.
So you were on that for a while, it seemed like, when I was watching.
Yeah.
There was quite a lot of like, well, we're just talking about stuff. Like, I was watching a stream and I was like, I still don't know what kind of game this is after quite a bit.
Yeah, I was surprised because I thought like we would get to the gacha elements almost immediately, but then Sean tells me like, no, that doesn't start till like an hour in, which I was surprised by. That being said, I thought they would do the gacha thing where they give you the taste and you're like, oh, I got a good role for a character.
Right.
I'm going to keep playing, hoping I get more. But I was filled with rage. I only got one character out of 10 pulls and just a bunch of wengeance. No, I think I did 20 pulls. And it was bad. It was bad. My odds were poor. So I kind of want to.
You want to spend more money?
I want to spend more money. I haven't spent anything yet.
Yeah.
But I'm getting to the phase.
They found out that works better than actually just giving you a good pool right away. It's like, what'll make him feel bad? That'll motivate him.
Make me angry.
I think I found a new good way to tell if someone's old is, Jan, earlier you said the phrase, it's like reboot, and I noticed both mine and Grub's eyes widened.
I got the reference.
It was made by a computer, Dan. Do you know how cool that is?
We can do that now?
We can do that now.
Wow.
It's like that episode of Simpsons where he was 3D.
What was reboot actually? Because I saw some episodes of it. I could never tell what it was actually about. I think somebody was a pizza boy.
Cyberspace. No,
Yeah,
you're
like
thinking of Freakazoid? Freakazoid was similar in that it was a guy pulled into cyberspace.
I think the little boy is kind of wearing an outfit that looks like a pizza. It looks like the outfit that the guy wears in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who is a pizza boy.
Kino.
He looks like Kino.
Kino.
So
Wait, but wasn't
Mike did some-
Freakazoid? Freakazoid was a pizza guy, right?
Yeah, right. But that's not what's happening here.
Thinking of Freakazoid.
I'm always thinking of Freakazoid.
Freakazoid, I definitely know.
I love
No, it was about like an evil CPU and GPU, and
So
or,
it's
I don't know,
strong.
maybe not GPUs, but CPU, and yeah, you had to like go defeat it or something. I don't know.
No, Freakazoid was a computer geek and got pulled into cyberspace
Yeah,
because he was working
yeah.
on his cyberspace stuff.
Mike's
and he got pulled
thinking
into
of
a computer.
Freakazoid.
I'm thinking of Freakazoid.
Yeah, check out Dexter Baxter. What their computer ace was surfing on the internet when got pulled into cyberspace.
Freakazoid. Yeah.
Turned into a Freakazoid. Was strong and super quick. He drives the villains crazy because he's a lunatic.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
good
gonna get
stuff.
super ripped by Halloween and just be Freakazoid for Halloween.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
great.
good. That's
There we
good.
go.
You can do
my
the
shoot
hair.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my shoot hair.
Yeah.
That being
Extra
said,
Douglas.
Zenless Zone Zero, it's a very good game, and I'm sad to report that.
Who's your waifu?
Is that teacher?
No, it's wife.
That's senpai.
What's the teacher one?
Senpai.
In anime.
Or
Senpai.
Senpai.
Sensei.
Yes.
Senpai.
Sensei?
Well, senpai
Wait,
is
what's senpai?
anybody. Senpai is anybody who's kind of like it's just like it's like saying Mister. It's just a thing of respect.
Oh, it's like son. Okay.
And usually it's somebody older or right or in a place of authority.
Okay. Got it.
But like the character designs across the board, I think they have something for everyone. Sean said that I should go demo one of the characters. Dan, are you okay? Is it?
Yeah, I thought there was a giant bug on the ceiling, but it's just like a weird thing. All right. Anyway.
And one of the characters that we tried out was like a bondage man wolf.
Yeah.
That was like a butler. And then I'm not into that, but there are several folks in chat.
But there's something for everybody. Okay.
Yeah. Shouts to Anthrocon.
Oh god, I don't. We're not. Maybe we will talk about that eventually.
Real quick, does anyone like? Part of me with this like Zenless Zero and all the MiHoYo stuff is like they're just trying to use waifus against me. They're trying to get me interested with the waifu, and it's like, of
course,
weaponized
waifus. I don't. Part of me like bristles against that, but I think I need to just get over it. Who cares? These games are probably good. I should just play them.
They are good. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like Honkai Star Rail was a very good RPG. I think it could have done without the running around the world and like the space train ship. But Zenless Zone Zero being so contained with the missions and everything, it's right up my alley. The only like type of exploration you have is kind of like Sean said this best, a Splatoon like hub world where you just got to go to like different shops and everything and chat to different NPCs. The character designs across the board. I can't express that enough, but it's just so good.
So moisturized too.
I should play more Splatoon.
So moisturized,
Yeah.
and I'm saving up all of my currency because maybe on a Delight Club this week, tomorrow, or UPF, we'll just spin a bunch for like maybe like 5-10 minutes to see if I get. I don't even know what I want. But Sean did show me there's this character, a maid, right? That we've seen the anime trope around, right? Pretty maid character.
Yeah, I've seen pretty maids on the internet. Yeah,
but this one's a shark.
All right.
Oh, I saw her shark.
Go.
There's just all sorts of stuff out there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff.
Oh no,
People have all kinds of jobs, and people are into all sorts of stuff.
That's
There could
very
be
true.
Vor with this character. Dan, what do you think Vor is, Dan?
Well, one of my good friends is named Brian Vor, so I have learned through him when
All right. Fantastic.
because he found out many years ago, like, oh, my name is also this thing.
Oh boy, yeah. It's a bunch of animals in this game of varying degrees. We saw the shark maid lady like whip her tail around, and I think it activated something in all of us.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna be seeing you at Anthrocon next year. Not that I would be there.
Mikey will go together.
No, please not.
I'll buy you ears and a tail.
Yeah.
Mike bought me ears.
I did get you ears. Yeah, show everybody the ears.
That's right.
In the meat, I wonder if this is it. Can they support more than 3 games, or are they gonna coast on these for a while? There we go.
I mean, they've already done 3 games.
Look at
Man,
that.
there it is.
There you go. There's the birthday boy. For audio listeners, it's Mickey Mouse ears that say "Happy Birthday." This was a late birthday gift / late souvenir for Disneyland because I wanted to buy him ears, but he had to leave early and I didn't get a chance. And also a get well. So I really bundled all of these things together.
That's the way to do it. That's a
Well,
good
happy
move.
65th birthday.
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Real quick, Jan, because I saw the shirt and I didn't put it on the list. I did play a lot more Super Monkey Ball. Banana Rumble? Banana
Yes,
Mania.
Banana Rumble.
Banana
Mania
Rumble.
was the
Trying to set
previous
that up.
one.
I was trying to set that up until Mike Minotti just had to brag about how generous he was.
I know, it's
That was
disgusting.
my fault. I was still sitting here for the transition.
There's animals in this game. There are a bunch of animals. Speaking about animals, Monkey Ball.
I like it. I know there's
It's
like
good.
fans of it that are like have complaints or whatever. I don't. I'm having a good time with that. I started doing the time trial mode because we saw that had a leaderboard, and that was fun to like try to get the perfect run that has all like at least a decent run on every course. And some of them are like, okay, I messed that up, but if I do this shortcut, it will still be faster than if I went the long way. So I'm gonna try a couple more times, and it's I really got into it.
I do like the time attack thing. I did it for the first world. The thing that I don't like about time attack, though, is because it is just tied to the entire world, that it's like, if, the last one you do on World 1 is that one where you do the skip that I did at Summer Games Fest, remember?
Yeah, that's the one.
And like, if you miss that, it doesn't matter if you had your best runs ever on 1 through 9, you screw up the last one. Like, on one end, it makes it more impressive.
Right,
if
the
you
game
have
would be
a-
better if it had leaderboards for every course.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
exactly. Because like I do think this is a great monkey ball. This is a very classic monkey ball, and like going from point A to point B, no jump button. It's got the spin dash thing, but honestly, I don't think that inherently changes the game or what it is or anything like that. The levels are good. It's got the goofy ass story stuff in between. Like the shop element is like I don't remember it ever being that fleshed out, where you're
it's fun.
buying different things and saving different outfits outfit presets and things like that. It's I don't remember if other ones had different stats for the monkeys. I remember in the old ones I would play as Baby
I thought they all
on the
had
really
the same.
not on this one. On the old
No,
ones, I think it
the
might have been the
previous
same.
ones. Yeah, this one they do have stats. Yes.
I remember I used to just pick Baby in the old ones because since it took up the least amount of space in the ball, you could see through and you could see the skinny things better.
Right.
This game gets hard near the end. Like I'm like halfway through the last world and like there are some where I'm just like, man, I've died 40, 50 times on this. I think I only have a few levels left, but they've been great courses. It's a great monkey ball. I haven't really messed around with the multiplayer yet. I've been, obviously like out and stuff, and I want to do a monkey ball stream with you guys and do some of the multiplayer party modes and stuff like that. But no, this is just straight up good monkey ball.
You guys watching the cutscenes?
Yeah. There's a legendary banana and it's surrounded by chaos emeralds. Yeah.
Jeff,
I knew why you asked.
You little stinker.
Yeah, I'm not.
Why do they title these games so oddly? Like, why not just add a number?
They're bad at naming
Sega.
things.
It's bad, yeah.
But even I'm all for just do numbers. That's great. But even here, you just released one called Banana Blitz. Mania.
Blitz was the Wii, I think. Banana Mania was the Switch remake, I think, of the original.
We got to use another word. I get it. Bananas is a big thing. You got to find something else.
Just do 3. You did 1 and 2. Just call this 3. It's very much in line with those first 2. Same way I want them to do a fucking Super Mario Brothers 4 and just make it like an NES or art style.
Because I really wanted a Sonic the Hedgehog 4 back in the day.
Well, Nintendo's not Sega. So.
That's true.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah, they protect the business.
They protect the business, brother.
Yes.
I hope this game gets updates with some of these things that we're talking about. A leaderboard for every course would be great. A name change, yes.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah, yes, exactly. This game could be called, what was the original name?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. There we go.
Banana of Tomorrow.
The other thing I think I would wish for is the challenge mode that was in previous games where it's like you have a certain number of lives to get through all these stages and stuff that. I enjoy that as well, or a certain amount of time maybe to get through everything. But yeah, overall, I just like the way it feels. I like Monkey Ball. It's a game-ass video game, and that's what I'm in the mood for. I tweeted games should be as fun as flying a kite because I was flying a kite. And it's like, this is nice. The wind's just pulling against me, and I gotta just do a little bit to keep it up in the air.
Some feedback,
yeah, some feedback. Just pull on me in some way, and Monkey Ball definitely does that. So yeah, I was enjoying myself.
Yeah, we checked out some of the multiplayer modes last UPF on Wednesday. They're all pretty good. There's specifically a robot one that I dig a lot, where the monkeys are weaponized and they're killing robots.
That's the next Jurassic World movie is going to be about monkeys. Yeah.
Oh, cool. The last one was about fucking bugs instead of dinosaurs.
That's right.
God.
Yep.
Yeah. Jesus.
I would rather them put a bunch of monkeys and balls than deal with the bugs again.
Sure.
Yeah.
They have those balls already.
Yeah, they have those
they're in
JavaScript.
the
They
world.
They do have those balls already.
That is just person monkey ball. Person ball.
It is. Gyrospheres, they're called.
Person ball, food mania. I don't know, what's a
Yeah.
Would
They
I still
love
have to
those
deal
Spurt mania.
Spurt mania? Would I still have to deal with Jimmy Fallon talking to me in the ball though?
No. You can get a DLC. It's Sonic instead.
Yeah, but you do have to watch a woman get torn apart by a pterodactyl, though. So
That has upset you a lot, huh? That's every time we bring up that movie.
it's the only thing I remember about that movie.
It upsets me even more.
Mike's definitely more upset.
I think I have a ethical problem with it. Something should have been done. Maybe somebody should go to trial for letting that be on
Nuremberg trials.
Trevor, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
The guy who was going to do episode 9 until his script sucked and his one movie bombed. I think I just saw something where his episode 9 script was going to be about how actually we do need to have some dark side also. It was going to be a what about both sides kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
And there's a line where Yoda's ghost thanked her for showing us that we have to have equal parts light and dark.
Hang on. I don't know if this is true. This is chat, so it has to be true. It says, apparently the actress asked for her character to get fucked up in the movie.
So who cares? Why would that matter? Everyone always points that out to me whenever I say it.
If you are the person portraying that and you're like, hey, I just fucked me up in some hilarious way, that's fun.
Well, why do I have to defer to her judgment? No, absolutely not.
Well, you don't have to feel bad for her anymore.
When he defers to a woman's judgment, is it?
Wow.
Also, I don't believe it. Do you know how expensive that scene was? It has probably more special effects things happening in it than anything else. It was they did it because she asked to on the set that day. No! Absolutely, they think for a moment. How movies must work.
Chat said it.
That's true.
No, absolutely
Chad
not.
said it.
I mean, that seems like a very, very hard task to, clean everything up for the movie, just like these boys have been cleaning everything up in Shadow of the Erdtree.
Oh,
Yeah, so the day I was like getting ready to go, Mike had one of his people in chats to have him text me to say he beat Shadow of the Erdtree. I'm like, oh man, he's so far ahead of me. And then I'm like, the next thing I did, I'm like, oh, I'm at the last boss too.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I didn't beat that thing I've been hearing about, or that thing. So I started going out in the world again. I found some more Skibbity Tree fragments, and that led me to, Bale the Dread and a bunch of other things. And I've been cleaning that stuff up, and it's just been fun. It continues to be really solid. I like these boss fights. Bale the Dread was visually incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing's been super challenging the way that what's the Sandry, the fire guy, the fire
Mesmer.
boss, or Mesmer. Thank you.
Oh, Mesmer.
Mesmer was the tough one for me. Everything else has been sort of like 3 to 5 tries. So
I
that's
went
been cool.
I went in a weird order, I think, because the centipede lady I had beat before I'd even like entered Mesmer's castle or whatever. And so like I was watching, this is like while I was out basically like first recovering from surgery. I was spending a lot of time just watching like Minotti and Kayla stream Erdtree, and like I just wasn't even in a place to really play it. And I saw them getting to Mesmer. And I would like text Kayla like, oh, I'm having trouble with the centipede lady, and she's like, what are you talking about, centipede lady? So like, I think I went in a really weird order, and I got back beat.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So yeah, I got to like the gate of the last boss, and I went back and I kind of mopped up. Like I looked up all the different like, oh, here's this putrescent whatever. Here's this whole like
Putrescent,
hinterlands area and the Bale mountain and all that stuff. So I just kind of like spent a lot of time going around cleaning up that whole map, beating all the bosses I heard about, and now I'm at the last boss. I haven't tried it in a few days, but like. It's fucking hard.
That's
know?
why
I was
definitely
traveling,
hard.
so I just couldn't. It's that second phase where you just get no breathing room. I think I've like decided I am going to like rework my build a little bit to be a little bit more defensive. That turns out that I think that's the meta for this last boss. You just got to be able to take hits.
I've been like putting all the heaviest shit on me, like not worrying about fat rolling at all, summoning as many people as possible.
Sure.
So like trying to summon specifically 2 people named like, let me solo him or whatever. And it's like, I'll have 2 of you and I'll be a little turtle and I'm just going to stay away from the action. I still can't survive that shit.
Yeah, it took me 43 tries with after I actually never got Mimic Tier, and this was what finally was like, oh, okay, I guess I should go get Mimic Tier before I replace this. That thing. Like,
incredible.
So I finally got in, leveled up Mimic Tier, and it did help, but still, it took a lot. And yeah, people say like my build because I'm very tanky. I have like a great shield and a great sword or colossal sword. Even then, it's just like I got to kind of like learn these patterns a bit and learn like what hits maybe I can take or shield. And also, there's always like a little bit of luck. Like, okay, maybe he's not going to do this one thing as much. That kind of always hits me. But like, like by the end, I didn't feel like I lucked out. I feel like, yeah, I just did kind of eventually learn this enough. I was at Skibbity Tree level 16. The max is 20.
That's
like
where
pretty
you're
high.
supposed to be, is what people say. Try to get to 16 for that final boss.
Yeah, and that felt right. So, I thought it was an appropriate challenge for basically the last thing I'm ever going to do in Elden Ring, right? I'm glad. It was difficult, and it did take a lot of effort. And, like, I like more so than anything else in the game when I did beat it, I did really get that hyped up feeling like, oh, yeah, like, it's stupid that I'm, like, impressed with myself right now for doing something in a video game, but I'm like, I'm pretty cool, actually. I beat this boss.
That game pulls it off better than any. Like when you get that, you see that animation and the life bar goes away and you're just like, oh, I did it. Like, or with the 2 guys I summoned did it. It's just a huge reminder of just how fucking good Elden Ring was. Like, I know we know it and we always talk about it. It's like one of the best games of all time, if not number 1. And like just playing it again and playing new content in it is just like, oh right, fuck, this is this is the bar. This is.
I don't ever play DLC, but this it just completely sucked me in immediately, like without missing a beat. Really, I mean, it was missing a beat. People saw that first stream where I was like playing a new character that I hadn't played before because I had to download a new save and kind of getting my sea legs back underneath me.
Yeah, how happy are you that when people actually watched you play this game, it was you struggling against like that one?
That's fantastic because it's like, of course, as soon as that's done, I'm like, oh, you know what? Oh, this and that. Of course, I was creating to do this, and now it's like, oh, I'm beating these bosses. Like the centipede lady, I beat in my first try, Dan, and then Mesmer took me 40 tries or something like that.
Oh wow.
And then Bale probably took me like 15.
Well, you didn't have the guy helping you with Bale because you killed him, and that's like the best part.
I did have the guy help me with Bale. That's right. I did kill him. Yes, that was fun.
Oh, did he just sitting on the mountain?
Yeah,
he was whining. He was whining.
Oh, he can help you. Oh,
oh my God.
No, I summoned like shoot people.
Oh, the shoot people.
Yeah, I always do that. Yeah. I will go into every boss fight in Elden Ring. I'll look at it once and be like, yes, I see what this is doing. It'll kill me. And I will just summon 2 people every single time. Every boss.
Yeah, that's the option. It's right there.
Yeah.
Do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
I was trying to help Snowbike Mike and Andy beat that final boss for a bit there. Actually, that was kind of fun.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, we were trying for a long time. Like Mike was like getting like the magic build. Andy was more a strength build, but not like as defensive as me. I think maybe Dex. I don't know. But yeah, they did it for a while. They did it for like another hour, even after I left. And then when they were done, Andy's like, "I'm gonna do it with my mimic tier just one time for funsies," and then killed it. And so Mike's like, "I love you, but I'm so bad," and like rage quit, shut down his stream.
That's
incredible. You were their knight in shining armor, just like Dan has been our Hollow Knight.
Oh,
This is how we know it's the new person, not really Dan Riker.
You get the true ending?
No, so I'm working on that now. I got the thing where it gives you the percentage, the completion thing, and I'm at like 78%. And so I'm kind of trying to figure out, I know there's just a bunch of charms everywhere. I did one of the the challenge arena or whatever thing.
Yeah, the last one in there is wild.
Okay, yeah. So I'm working on that. Did a lot of that on the flight, a lot of that while I was recovering. Actually, that was kind of great. Like to have, while I was recovering, I had Elden Ring and I had Hollow Knight. And it's just like, they're both playing on the Steam Deck very well. So I'm just laying in bed playing these all fucking day. I can't believe no one told me about Hollow Knight. It is, I love Metroidvanias. This is such a, you can see the influence it's had on the genre moving forward. Even things like Prince of Persia and things like that. I was frustrated initially, I think, with things like, there's so much backtracking, or I don't know where to go. But then by the end, I just kind of realized, I kind of like this because I feel like I'm actually exploring this world and getting to know it instead of just following.
Becoming the master of the world. That is Metroidvania. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not just following like a blinking thing. Okay, the map says go over here. I'm going over there. There are plenty of times where I'm like, I don't know where the fuck to go. And then it's like I am kind of looking over the map and looking at the markers I've placed. I'm like, okay, I'm wondering if I can get over here now. And then you figure out something you didn't have before. The charm loadout stuff works really well. And then the stuff you unlock later on. I was 15 hours in and I got the Monarch wings and I read the description and I was like, wait, is this a fucking double jump? I played 15 hours of the game, a Metroidvania, and was surprised to get a double jump. and then immediately thinking of all the ways that just blows the map wide open. Just incredible. And then you get the Dreamgate thing where you can fast travel and that really fixes a lot of the issues with
it has one of the best dashes in a game too. That that
air dash is great. You get the shade cloak thing where you can go through hits and stuff like that. It is just a top tier, one of the best Metroidvanias of all time, and somebody should have told me about it.
The size of it, because it's definitely the biggest Metroidvania I ever played. It's a huge map. It is long, and I think that initially can be a little scary, but it really is amazing how well developed that world is and how distinct all the different pieces of it are. And, there are a lot of dead ends you're going to come across early on, but it really is satisfying to just go back to these places and keep discovering new things. And there are so many items that you are going to want, like those badges, and just, again, you might discover this upgrade even really late in the game, or just this boss that is optional but a ton of fun. Yeah, it's a really impressive thing.
I never checked out Hollow Knight, actually. Should I? You think? Well, I mean, Dan, you checked it out now, but I was going to ask, should I wait for Spoon Heaven to come out? But who knows when that'll happen?
Yeah, just play this. You should play this. Jeff should too.
I know. I will.
You haven't played it?
I started it and I just fell off, and it was not like it was not like your thing where you're like, this looks bad, I don't like this. I was just like, no, I think I probably will like this. I just I didn't get momentum with it,
Jeff,
so I will go back.
I realized why I thought it looked like a Flash game. I realized it while I was playing it. Because remember that Alien Hominid game for PS2 and GameCube? It kind of looks like that with just the really thick lines and stuff. And Alien Hominid, I think, came from a Flash game, right?
Yes.
And I remember back then thinking it's weird playing a Flash game on my PS2. And so as soon as I started Hollow Knight, I was like, this looks like a Flash game. It's like, no, it kind of reminded me of Alien Hominid. That's it. That was a very reductive way to look at the game.
Also a very good game.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think it's worth playing now.
Yeah.
It's really tremendous.
It works great on Switch and on Steam Deck. So
it's
play
ideal. I played the whole thing on my Steam Deck. I've also tried it on Switch and it plays well there. But the combat is
I played on Switch. It's good.
Combat's so fucking snappy. These boss fights where you can start kind of doing the DuckTales pogo thing on a boss's head and stuff, and the way it just sends you up. Every hit seems like it's got a real I don't know, like Metroidvanias frequently have just kind of the combat's not super impactful a lot of the time. And with this one, I do feel it feels more like a Souls game where every time you get a hit, you're just like, yes, you feel it. There's some feedback to it.
There's a lot of Souls DNA. Obviously, when you die, you have to like go back and like get your currency. So like that's a big part of it. But yeah, like the bosses do have a little bit of that kind of Souls-like feel to them.
Well, and the healing, there's an animation to it, so it's kind of like waiting for the flask and waiting for your opportunity to heal. It's not just like a press a button and you're healed. There's definitely a lot of Souls stuff going on there, but it's really great.
I didn't put it on a list, but it's funny because I finally played through Bloodstained Ritual of the Night and beat that. And like I had a similar thing where I started that game and was just kind of not into it. I was like, I think this.
You were thrown off by all the talking in that game that didn't really seem like it was leading to much, but actually, whatever. Go ahead.
Well, no, exactly. Like it's pretty talky in the beginning, and even like the DS EGA Castlevania games are kind of like that, where it's like, why is there this much lore? I don't really care.
You can skip that.
Right. I didn't skip it, but
you can't skip it in Bloodstained too much because there's like important stuff about what you're supposed to be doing in some of those text things. That's the thing that frustrated me about the game a little bit.
It slowed down after that first act. It wasn't that big a deal, and then I was just like, oh. It's great to just have another one of these for the first time in forever, and then I got really into it and like played through the whole thing in a week. So I had a good time.
You mentioned the old Castlevanias, and it reminds me we were in Vegas this weekend. Me and Bianca were, and I was thinking like, I used to gamble a little more. I have not really, but I was like, hey, I'm in Vegas. Might as well throw a few hundred on a craps table, see how it goes or whatever. And I was planning on doing that, and walking around, thinking about it, and I realized like, man, I could gamble. And I could lose it and be fine, but like I could also just take that few $100s and just buy a complete in-box Aria of Sorrow and definitely have that. And as I was saying that out loud to Bonk, we walked by and it must be a newer casino. I don't remember seeing it before. It's literally Aria. Aria is the name. So like, as I'm talking about it, we like rounded a corner and saw like Aria Resort and Casino, and I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm just buying Aria of Sorrow right now instead of gambling.
That's the universe.
That's a return on investment. That's gonna be worth more.
Yeah.
That's fun. I literally just bought a complete in-box Order of Ecclesia. We could get
Ecclesia is great. Yeah, I got all the DS ones. I need the GBA ones now. I need Circle the Moon and Portrait of Ruin. Then I'll have all the portable Castlevanias.
I can't hang out with y'all too much. Otherwise, I'm going to start diving into this. I was already looking at just funny CRTs.
You're not old enough to want to buy the really expensive stuff. So man, all your stuff will be affordable.
The house that we were staying at did have a gigantic CRT, and like all week I was like, can I? I was like, I might ask if I could just have this. And before I left, I'm like, if you ever want to get rid of it, I'll literally drive up and get it because it's so awesome.
Road trip, let's go.
It was too big to like take back on this trip.
Yeah.
Our van was too full. I wouldn't have been able to fit in there. And it's probably like, we didn't even try lifting it up. I bet that thing is like 225 pounds.
How many
inches?
It
was enormous. It had to be like near 30 inches for CRT, which is massive. Yes.
Yeah, I've got a 19-inch, and that thing is a beast.
Yeah. It was enormous, but I'm like, man, I kind of want it real bad. So almost took that home.
Would be really good to play on a CRT TV would be the original Final Fantasy VI. But Mike Minotti, you've been playing Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster.
No, the hell with the original. I don't like playing that SNES version of it anymore. The Woosley translation is like written at a first grade level, and it's kind of I can't vibe with it as much. The GBA was my go-to for a long time. I thought Final Fantasy VI Advance was very good, despite some of the compromises there with audio and visuals. But now I'm playing the Pixel Remaster for the first time. When all of those came out on Switch like a year ago, I kind of went through 1 through 5 immediately. And then when I got to 6, I was like, okay, this is like the best one. It's my favorite one of these. And there's a lot of newer RPGs I had to play first. I was like, I'm going to save this for a while. And after I beat Bloodstained, I was like, okay, now's the time. Actually, I went to play Turok 2 first because it was on sale.
I almost played Turok 2. I was like looking at it last night.
Turok 2's fun. Its levels are insane. They are some of the biggest maps ever made for a shooter like this. And it's like, it kind of has like objectives. So it's not just we'll get to the end. It's like, well, you got to like find the 6 like children trapped in cages first, and like good luck with that. And the remaster even like puts some like exclamation marks on where like switches and stuff are. Even still, I was like on one level in Turok 2 for 4 hours. I'm like, I just can't.
It's like a ton of shit.
I just can't.
You said you were playing Bloodstained. Did you do the thing where you can just absolutely break the character and like you make all those meals if you fill out the entire cookbook and then you are just the most broken character of all time in like any video game?
I cooked a lot of meals. I don't know if I cooked all of them.
You can make it where you're like flying and invulnerable and you're moving so
fun.
fucking fast. You can like run across the entire map in seconds. It is like, it lets you break the game in awesome ways.
That's fun. I might try that.
Oh, it's so much fun. Like Bloodstained, I really think it's one of my favorite Metroidvanias ever.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I hope it sounds like they're going to probably announce something new soon. I
hope so.
But yeah, the Pixel Remaster Final Fantasy 6 has been great, and I haven't played it since I played Advance. I think I played that back when I was in college, honestly. So it's been a bit. I kind of forgot just how fast paced 6 is because this is like the really story focused one, so it probably has a long startup, like most games do these days.
No, it starts on media res, and then it just goes.
It just like I'm only 3 hours in, and I've already done so many of like big highlight moments in my mind, like all the stuff in Narsh in the beginning, and then Figaro Castle, going to the sand. I'm already at the Phantom Train, and before that was Kefka poisoning Doma. I don't think it's going to be that much longer until I'm just at the opera scene. And like the whole time, there's still like dungeons and boss fights and all these other interesting things happening, and constantly getting new party members and all these new songs and everything. It is just like, oh yeah, this is absolutely a masterpiece. This is just one of the best of all time, and just playing this again now makes me super happy.
Mike, is there a song in Final Fantasy VI that you would say is like an iconic moment in video game history?
Yeah. I mean, there's the opera. The opera is the big thing in this.
Okay,
one.
with lyrics that show up on screen?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember arguing with Ben Hansen about this because when we had Gilbert Gottfried voice a bunch of like iconic video game things, we had him do like Mario jumping around the castle. We had him do a Liquid Snake monologue. Had him just do the Dracula from Castlevania, Miserable Pile of Secrets. And then Hansen had him read some song from Final Fantasy VI. And my argument was like, A, I don't know what this is. B, it's text. It's not a voice he's doing. So if you look up Gilbert Gottfried video games on YouTube now, it's like that is one of them is Gilbert Gottfried just reading the song lyrics for a Final Fantasy thing.
Doing the opera from it. Okay, I need to see that now.
Lovely.
Because that would be incredible, actually.
Going from one pixel game to another pixel game, I've continued to play through Until Then, and I think last week I said I'd jump to this because I wanted something that wouldn't emotionally devastate me, and I am a stupid idiot because this has continued to emotionally devastate me. Talked about this a lot last week. Just updates from this it's really nice to I think it's really well written to be able to feel like I'm being transported into a setting that I'm mildly familiar with because this takes place in the Philippines. Mike broke the news to me that Filipinos are from the Philippines last week.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Very
turns out.
cultural.
Makes sense.
Yeah, man of the world, our own pit bull, Dale. Mike, say it.
Mike, say it.
Oh, well, say what?
Dale.
Dale.
Whoa.
Hey, yeah.
Well, you told me to.
Wow.
Dang it.
Jeez.
I already thought I got in trouble last week when I did do that. The Filipinos are from the Philippines. Like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. now I'm saying a word I don't know and you're mad at me?
Wow.
You can't keep doing this to me. I'm scared.
We're not mad at you. We're like intimidated by you.
Yeah.
You saying
Oh,
Dale.
I am a very intimidating person.
But yeah, until then, it's very well written. I want to say a couple chapters in now. Still don't know how actually long it is. But they do a really good job at like making sure that it's not just a talking heads visual novel where you're kind of walking around, you're interacting with a lot of stuff, and there are some mini games. And the thing that it really made me miss was kind of being like in that age of just being in like an obscene amount of group chats and just like shit talking with your friends and being transported back to that really got me in my feels. And I don't think I'm emotionally ready for where the story is supposed to go. It's getting into my head too much, just like Mike Minotti. You've been getting into heads, Psychonauts.
Yeah, over on Jeff.
Oh,
and
you beat the meat on Twitch last night.
I beat the meat circus.
The meat circus.
I went to the meat
pop-up
circus.
on my phone did say, Mike Minotti is live. Let's beat the meat.
It said, let's beat the meat circus. And then
It was cut off.
Beat the meat circus, which is not any better.
And we're just cranking it.
It's a whole circus full of us beating our meats.
Yeah. No, over on Jeff and I's like our Discord channel was just tied to like our Patreon. We have a game club where we play through games, and Psychonauts 1 was the latest one. So I was playing through that, which is fun because I played through Psychonauts 1 back in the day, but I never finished it. I got pretty far. I don't know why I got thrown off it. But then played Psychonauts 2 when that came out and really loved that. So it's good to go back to this and play it. It's interesting how it's actually a lot more like Psychonauts 2 than I would have thought. Like, a lot of those mechanics and things are just there. Psychonauts 2 is definitely more refined and more fleshed out. It also has more platforming. Like there's a lot of gimmick levels in this game, and a lot of them are really fun and neat. I think people know about like the Milkman level, where it's almost kind of more about like solving kind of inventory puzzles, like an old school adventure game. But I could have done with a bit more pure platforming in things like that. But the writing still, so incredibly sharp and funny, just really likable characters. And yeah, that last level was really hyped up, the Meat Circus, as something people had problems with. And apparently it was patched in at least the PC version at some point because people had so much trouble with it. I was playing it on Game Pass on my Xbox, right? And I don't know if that version's patched because it seems like it's just playing, the original Xbox version of it.
Right.
So I don't know. So whatever version I played or not, I didn't have that much trouble with it. But, I'm a pro gamer and I'm very
you
talented
are
and good. But no, it was a lot of fun. I was glad I finally got to like go through and say, yes, I beat the Meat Circus and the rest of the game now. Good stuff. Still worth playing.
Fantastic. We talked about a bunch of games, not quickly at all, but Dan Reichert, you have something here. You want to talk about summer games done quick.
Yes, I did. I was here in Minneapolis, and that was kind of my first time I felt okay enough to get out of the house. I showed up in person there. Yeah, I went. They do a great job there, and I think it's one of the reasons it's great to be back here is every year. Hopefully, they keep doing that here and can keep checking it out. But yeah, I went on the first day and saw a Yoshi's Story All Melons run, which was interesting because like that is a game I was excited for and played a little bit of and fell off and didn't love. And so it's interesting seeing like a super deep dive on that game. I did learn there's these big fucked up looking enemies at the end that are these like crazy balls with like jagged teeth and mean eyes, and I was told that they are named attacky sacks, which I liked a lot.
That's really good.
That's a really good name for a character. Yes.
I love that.
Nintendo Treehouse like top tier at naming stuff like that. That's great.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then they had some great stuff. They had like a coin op room and things like that, and lots of little side rooms where you could just kind of like check out games and play stuff. They had a Virtual Boy set up, and I played the Water World of Virtual Boy.
Nice.
Which I'm sure that's probably exactly what my doctor told me to do just post sinus surgery. Is put your face in a public Virtual Boy that's 30 years old at a game convention.
It's the only way to experience Kevin Costner's vision as was intended. So
it is. I have not spent a lot of time inside the Virtual Boy, and it is kind of a crazy effect. Like there's a lot of like
the Virtual Boy.
It's weird because like there's like a bunch of characters like floating in the water in Water World, and it looks like it was like digitized, like kind of like the Mortal Kombat style, but like all red and like with weird perspective. So it's just a weird looking thing, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Yep.
There was a fucked up, like I put it on my Instagram, this picture of this Pringles thing. There's just a lonely CRT sitting in one of the rooms with just like rows and rows and rows of CRTs, and people are over here playing Smash Brothers, people are playing this or that. There's one station with no one at it, just a big CRT, a bunch of different flavors of Pringles on top of it, a Sega Genesis plugged into it, and it's got like the visual style of this game playing on the CRT. You could pick it up and play a little bit of it. I did. It looked kind of like Cool Spot. It kind of like looked like how a licensed Genesis game would look and feel, but you're playing as the little Pringles head thing, but it's like the modern Pringles logo.
Oh,
weird.
And the cartridge in the Genesis is like, it just looks like a Genesis cartridge with a Pringles label on it. So I don't know if this was some weird stealth marketing thing. If it is, someone at the Pringles Corporation's fucking awesome.
Game.
Is it a fan game?
Yes, it's according to Lexi in chat.
So someone that just loves Pringles made a Pringles display and brings it around to FTDQ?
Because there was an actual Chester Cheetah game for the Genesis.
Yeah.
That existed.
To get on the top 100 on speedrun.com for this game, you got to beat it in 10 minutes and 42 seconds or faster. The top time is 2 minutes and 52 seconds.
Oh my! Okay, so yeah, you can just download it. Okay, yeah, there's just zip files here on this Wave Paradigm thing. Oh, you can just play it in a browser too. Yeah, I stopped and I was like, what the fuck am I looking at here? It's like, this is the weirdest marketing I've ever seen, or it's something else. Okay, well, that answers my question there, but that was a weird thing to see. But But yeah, no, it's they do a great job. I played some Crazy Taxi Arcade, which I never really did before. Like it's one of those cabinets you actually sit in, and it's racing game style, and that was fun to play it that way. But yeah, it's great. Next year comes back. Hopefully, I'll come some more days. But love what they do there.
Yeah, I got to watch a bunch of the runs. It was good. They did announce they're coming back to Pittsburgh for Awesome Games Done Quick. So
are they really?
Yeah. So I'll be able to go again. Jeff, I hope maybe you can make it out this time. If anybody else wants to come in, we can all party in Pittsburgh. It'll be a good time. But yeah, I love Games Done Quick. I love what they do. It's always a fun week for me when those events are going on.
Fantastic. We love it. Also, they hit a gigantic milestone this past
2.5 million, right?
For Doctors Without Borders?
Yep.
Yeah. Insane. I love it.
Yep.
Just like I love the news, but I'm going to have to take a quick break, and we'll be back with video game news. Jeff Grubb, for the love of God, please take this news hat back. I don't know how you do it. Here's your notepad and pencil. I'll go back to the printing press for
Oh my God,
the
why,
video
it's just a
game.
bunch of butts on here. What you just doing with a bunch of butts?
It's just butts and cool S's.
Wait, Grub, what's the biggest thing that happened in the last 2 weeks? I've been super out of the loop.
I've been gone, Dan, so I don't know.
Dan, what's the biggest thing that happened in the last 2 weeks?
We're calling me Bangboo now.
Oh,
We're not calling you that.
Mike will
Welcome
call
to
you
this.
that.
Yeah, Mike
will.
loves
Just
that.
me.
He just-
Then
Mike will
find
say
out.
anything.
And
He's nuts.
he's like, I could say it now. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna find out it's problematic of me to do that.
all right, let's get into the news here. Let's start with the May 2024 U.S. game sales Circana report. This used to be
May
the
was
MPD
so
report.
long ago.
I know, but he actually delayed this.
What
so
happened
it's,
in May?
Well, let's see here. The game Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door
Oh,
came
yeah,
out,
yeah.
and that was number 2 on the charts. But that doesn't include digital sales. And if you're not looking at this, guess what the number 1 best-selling game of May was?
I know.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still.
That's not a bad
Grand
guess.
Theft Auto 5.
It was Ghost of Tsushima, which got released on PC and jumped from 71 the month before all the way up to number 1. So not too
That's
bad.
a way higher jump than I feel like we usually see for these PlayStation ports, but Ghost of Tsushima has always been like surprisingly popular. It never gets quite talked about as much as like a Spider-Man or a Last of Us or even a Horizon. But that game did very well, and I'm curious to see how the sequel's going to do when it inevitably gets announced probably next year.
For as much as we clown on Horizon, I feel like we're just like saturated with so many various Horizon-related things that I'm surprised we haven't gotten that with Ghost of Tsushima, given how popular it is.
Yeah, well, it's just the one game right now. It hasn't had a bunch of spin-offs. And, like, I defend Horizon a bit from you guys, but I definitely like Ghost of Tsushima more than I like Horizon.
Ghost of Tsushima also benefited on this chart from a lack of big new releases. Homeworld 3 was a new release. That was number 14. F124 was number 18 on this list, and that was the only other new release other than Paper Mario.
Man, if you were like a PlayStation or Xbox gamer, you're probably not much new for you.
Right, and Paper Mario, again, doesn't include digital sales. With digital sales, it probably is number 1. So,
good, that game rules. Oh, it's so freaking good. Holy crap, I loved it.
Wait,
Wait, Jeff, real quick.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Did you kind of bounce off it for a bit to play Elden Ring, or are you going back to
Yeah, I'm going back to it. It helped that I was at the house. There was a kid there that is super into video games, and he was very impressed that you already have the 1,000-year door. I'm like, yeah, kid, I get it for work, you dumb little baby. So I'm like, yeah, I'll once I'm done with Elden Ring, once I beat this final boss, it will be back to 1,000-year door. But I only got a little bit left in that game, so I'm looking forward to it. Maybe the big news out of this report is that console sales continue to be down across the board. May video game hardware spending declined 40% when compared to a year ago. That's to $202 million and is now 30% lower year to date. So year to date, hardware spending is down 30%. Through May, all current generation hardware platforms are showing double-digit percentage declines. So that means PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch are all down at least double-digit percentage from last year. So it's not like there's just one dragging the rest down. The Switch, though, is the most significant drop, as you would expect at this point of the console's life cycle. That said, PlayStation 5, when you line up the sales compared to PS4, it is 8% ahead of the PS4 in the United States. So some of the slowdown can be maybe attributed to there was that huge rush to get PS5s early on, and now those people have PS5s, and the rest of the audience is maybe still kind of lagging behind the rest. Xbox Series, is 13% behind the Xbox One and slightly behind the Xbox 360 when you line up the first 43 months. So not great over for Xbox, but either way, the decline in hardware spending has got to be something that these companies are looking at and maybe worrying about a little bit. But I don't get the sense necessarily that they're like, this is all doom and gloom and this is what it's going to be like forever. This does feel like a momentary lull that might be solved here pretty soon. How do you guys read that? The drop in hardware spending.
I mean, PlayStation has clearly not had a whole lot of releases this year, especially from PlayStation Studios. That's going to hurt them. Xbox is going to ramp up here soon, but still, it's been slow. Hellblade 2, I don't want to say it came and went, but maybe it was never meant to be some big tentpole thing. Even though, when it was announced, I thought it was going to be. Then, the closer we got to it, it's like, oh, clearly it's not. Actually, that is just going to kind of come out and it'll be nice, and some people are gonna really like it. But it was never expected to make some big dent in hardware sales or something like that, or even Game Pass subscriptions. No, I think a lot of people kind of have like that survive till 2025 mentality here. I think everyone knows it's going to be sort of a weird year as we wait for the Switch 2 and maybe even wait for Grand Theft Auto 6 and some of these other bigger exclusives to come out.
Do you think college football will make an actual impact on that?
I do think it will have an impact on that. There is a huge audience of people who have sat down on gaming because they love college football.
I was going to say, like, I've had numerous people in my life that never talk to me about games, but they know what I do for a living. And the one game they brought up to me is college football. So it's like, I bet it's anecdotal, but like all these people talking about, oh yeah, I'm finally going to get a PlayStation 5 because college football is coming out, you know?
Yep, it's going to be enormous. I mean, I don't know if it'll be enormous like annually going forward. It'll still be a top-selling game, just like all sports games are. But this one feels like it has the chance to be like one of the top 3 best-selling games of the year. So
we should do something with that.
Yeah, oh yeah, we will.
Let's all go back to college for a feature.
No.
Okay. You shall
I never went.
Oh,
yeah, Jeff never went. We can get it for the first time. It'll be like one of those movies.
We're gonna move to Lawrence. We're all gonna get in a dorm together.
I'm not going to fucking Kansas.
Hey, Lawrence is the one cool part of Kansas. Lawrence is all right.
Oh my God!
I meant to school. I'll go to Michigan. That's I'm a fan of Michigan University.
Lawrence is the Colorado of Kansas.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so the cool place. All right.
Yeah.
Think of all the college shenanigans we can all have together. We start
man,
our
I can't
own
wait to upset the dean.
GBU.
Okay.
Oh God!
Right,
if we all just revert to our college age selves, Jesus Christ, it'd be a nightmare.
I'd be pretty similar.
I would in some ways.
I don't need another mugshot. Yeah, I'll be good. All right, this story is for this audience. GameCube is getting retro achievements. This might be the biggest thing that happened in the last 2 weeks. The initial list of games includes F-Zero GX, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Wario World, Beautiful Joe, PNO 3, Killer 7, Rogue Squadron 2, Bait and Kato's, Chibi Robo, and I didn't leave off anything.
Rogue Squadron 2 instead of Rogue Leader, you psychopath.
And I'm not leaving off anything, including Super Mario Sunshine, which I kind of want to play because of this.
Yes. Grub, this fucking retro achievement stuff has now broken the way I play games on the road. Because, like, I got that Ambernick SP gimmick, so I bought that thing. I love it. It's great. Been playing a lot of WarioWare and stuff on it. But it can connect to retro achievements. So this thing that is inherently meant to be a thing you can just throw in your pocket or throw in a bag for a plane or something like that. It's not like, well, I'm not gonna if I can't connect to the internet. I can't just play Aria of Sorrow and not get retro achievements for it. You know, like
that's
so now
pretty
I
messed
won't
up when
play
you say
the
it like that.
I will only play my little portable system if I'm like at home connected to Wi-Fi. It's so stupid.
You can connect it on your Steam Deck as well. So like you can get.
Well, sorry. Quick aside here. As of yesterday, my Steam Deck, I don't know if the system is fucked up or some update broke everything, but I was almost at the end of Wind Waker, and now it wouldn't open it up for a long time. It seems like it's not reading like the SD card right. But also when I can get it to load, something about the CMOO thing or whatever, like only touchscreen works and like the pop-ups are going on screen and won't go away. And like all this weird shit that I have not been able to Google. So like I can't play Wind Waker now. And I'm almost done with it.
Did you update any of your stuff in EMU Deck? Because
I did that last night. I went and I updated
some
everything.
of those were bad updates, they were saying. So yeah.
Oh shit, man, that sucks. So it's like I seriously spent like most of Raw last night on my Steam Deck, like trying to figure out how to get it to work and could not get there.
That is the thing with these devices is like entropy comes for them really quickly. There is no device for emulation really that I would just feel like recommend to someone who's like, I want it to always just work. It's like, man, it really is kind of original hardware, and maybe if someone in your life will set up a Mister and then you don't ever touch it again, maybe that would be fine. But for a lot of these devices, it's like one day if they update or get a bad update, it could just stop working. And that's
it was very frustrating because I put like a lot of hours in that Wind Waker thing, and now I just can't play it. Yeah,
so. I would, like Bungus says in chat, I rerun the EMU Deck launcher. Do let everything reconfigure. Okay,
I did.
Oh boy. Okay. I was having trouble with my Steam Deck. I think the update made the SD card stuff a little weird. It stopped recognizing my SD card until I popped it out and popped it back in.
That's what's happening with me.
Okay, so I think this might be a Steam Deck issue. Actually, I think the latest Steam Deck update might have done that stuff.
It's time. Okay. It's time to join the alliance, boys. The Roger Ally Alliance.
Yeah, Come Roger Ally melts the SD cards. What are you talking about?
It's just warming them up for you.
Yeah,
it's just keeping them nice and toasty.
I like the Roger Ally plenty. It's a good system. I use it like every once in a while when a game doesn't run as well on the Steam Deck.
But I play Bloodstained on.
Grub, are you saying that Mario Sunshine does not have achievements?
No, it
does.
does. I was afraid to say it because then, yeah.
Grub.
You
Listen,
should
okay,
play
how about
that.
this? When this comes out, let's play Super Mario Sunshine and get some retro achievements, and that'll give you a
Okay.
stream.
Do you have a
I was
gumball
gonna say-
machine?
Okay, no, we're not doing that. I'm not doing some weird shenanigans. You're not putting on the gold jacket.
Oh, no.
Man,
What if we
I like
play
Sunshine. Go ahead, Dan, go
Sunshine
ahead.
tomorrow.
I'm not sure if the retro
No,
achievements
no,
are live
we
yet.
could just
Are
play
they?
Sunshine tomorrow.
Okay, listen.
Is that the achievements? Are you crazy? How would we ever have fun?
How am I gonna feel something?
I'll give you points.
I did do another. I did specific Quackshot playthroughs just to get all those achievements.
See, I've never been a huge achievement.
No,
person.
that's the weird thing is the new achievements I don't give a shit about. Retro achievements for some reason I'm like, this
Yeah.
is kind
Now
of neat.
you're activated. I'm glad that Piano 3 is one of the games on
Yeah,
this
me
list
too.
already. I got that one in the back there. I'm like,
one
someday
of
I'm gonna pull up Piano 3.
Can we
don't know
settle
what
it
to
once and for all?
expect.
Is Piano 3 trying to be like piano?
Is it
No,
true? I don't know.
I've never heard that or thought that in my life. No.
I think
Piano.
that all the time.
Piano 3? No.
Piano 3.
Is there any? Because I've only like looked at the game briefly. Isn't it like a musical rhythm sort of action game?
No, I
Is
thought it was like Oni. I thought it was like a robot lady running around shooting things.
I thought it was like she's got like dance and like move around and to the beat and kill things to the beat.
No, I thought it was an
People-
action game.
People act like it's
Well, it is an
ridiculous.
action
You're
game.
telling me if you say P-N-O real quick, it doesn't sound like piano?
But it's Piano 3. It's
Piano
not
3.
like.
Piano 3. Yeah, it sounds like piano.
No, you're nuts.
I'm looking
You're
at
nuts.
my search. Or I was about to search it, and it's like I've already searched this before.
Incredible.
All right, whatever. All right, listen, my brain makes connections where maybe there is nothing.
That was one of the Capcom 5, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. What's the last Capcom
four that
5
actually
Dan
came
game?
out.
Wait, okay,
Yeah.
so we had Killer 7, Piano 3, Beautiful Joe, Resident Evil 4, and then an unreleased one, right?
Yeah.
the one that didn't actually come.
It's like
out.
Dragon something or
Ooh,
It's Deep Dive or Deep Down or whatever.
yeah, that's
Kingdom Hearts.
coming in late. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Hey, by Wario
Dead
World on the
Phoenix.
GameCube?
Dead Phoenix.
Dead
That's it.
Phoenix. There.
That
it is,
sounds
yeah.
like a game that would never come out.
Yeah, that sounds like a deep down. You're right. Absolutely.
Wario World on the GameCube is so underrated. It's so
Yeah.
much fun. The only reason people dinged it is because it's short, and these days, who cares if it's
Who
short?
gives a shit?
Oh, you said
Yes.
Wario World. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the WarioWare party game one. Oh,
No, well,
Wario
of
World
course,
is
that's great
it's
too.
weird. Treasure game, yeah.
It's a treasure, and it is just like, hey, we took the mechanics from Wario Land and put them in 3D, and it works, and it's real fun.
It's fun. The
like
pause menu thing is
Yeah,
very,
no,
very,
you're like,
very
nah,
good.
nah, nah, nah,
Yes.
Yes, that's
Yes.
great. All right. Astro's Playroom's second update is now available, hiding a new special bot in the game. Astrobot, launching on September 6th, features a mission to rescue 300 scattered bots around the world, including cameo characters from PlayStation history. They have now updated Astro's Playroom, the game that comes with the PS5, to hide 4 of those bots in the current game. So now you can do this little thing to find those. And it is like little puzzles. One of them you have to like find a clock and set it to the appropriate time to find a reference to a game that is never going to get remade or ported or anything. I don't want to spoil it, but I think you might know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I just put this in here because I love anything Astro right now.
I want to go. I kind of want to go back to Astro's
Astro's
Playroom.
Playroom, the updates they did to like include some of this like references to this, and there's like a countdown. It's cool. It was already neat. So the fact that they're doing even more is great.
I'm so
I was
excited
just-
for this game. I'm so
I was just
freaking
trying to think of
excited.
when that's coming out. And that's like early September, right?
September
Yeah.
6th.
But then,
God, it's
and just
not
thinking
far.
thinking about release dates, I just realized NES World Championship is in like a week, right?
Yeah, holy moly. Yeah, that's right. It's in 9 days, right? Yes.
Oh
God,
my
I'm so
That
excited.
rules. Oh my God, I cannot wait. That's going to take us
so
over.
excited. Oh my god, for that and then this. Oh, it's gonna be good times.
Okay. Yep. So looking forward to some games right there. 2K's Bioshock team is recruiting like mad for the next series entry. Cloud Chamber, the Bioshock team at 2K Studios, is actively recruiting game developers for the next installment in the acclaimed series. The studio seeks talent across various disciplines, including animation, art, design, scripting, production, management, and writing. Let's see here. Bioshock 4 will feature a new fantastical world, possibly set during the 1960s in Antarctica's fictional city of Borealis. The development team includes Bioshock veterans, and the original Bioshock director, Ken Levine, is not involved in the new game. I never know how to take these stories where it's like, I thought this game was like close to coming out. Does this
I
mean
thought
it's
they were working
Yeah,
on
I feel like
this.
we've been hearing about this for a long time now.
right? Does this story mean that it's not in that state? Because I remember Metroid Prime 4 always had like the people were like looking for any tidbit on that because we hadn't heard about it for so long, and then there'd be like, oh my God, they're only just now hiring for blank. Does that mean they've done no work on that? And that's usually not what it means. That's probably not what's happening here, but maybe this does mean it's a little bit further off than I was expecting. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say the idea of setting it in a city in Antarctica, that sounds cool.
I love that. Yeah, honestly, most things that take place in Antarctica are my jam for some reason. I don't know why.
The Thing, Shin Megami Tensei, Strange Journey.
That copy of Donkey Kong 64 I sent down there.
Yes.
Yeah, all of that. Ooh, so I don't know what would be 60s-ish about it specifically, but hey, why not?
Well, I mean, like you could imagine, like a post-war, like in the Cold War, like so much funding was done for various sort of black ops military research that you could justify sort of anything in the 1960s. Whereas, like, if that was happening today, it's like they wouldn't waste money on this dumb shit. But back in the 60s, they would.
I sure hope that they don't double down or even continue the kind of multiverse aspect from Infinite,
no, they
especially
have
the
to
end of it.
go away, right?
It was.
I mean, it doesn't like add anything to a story. Like, I'm sure it could be like, well, this is why some of these things are happening, but it cannot be central to what happens. I would hope not.
Yeah, because I don't know. Infinite is such a weird game in terms of how I played it and really liked it. Then a week later, it's I don't know if it was good when I actually think about it. Because it's it starts off oh, this is gonna be talking about patriotism the same way the first game talked about the Ayn Rand stuff and whatnot, and then it's they got bored of that, and what if there was multiple universes, and what if this guy was actually your father, and
what if standing against fascism was just as bad as fascism?
Exactly. So I was oh, okay. So I hope there's a more concrete idea with this one that's not quite as multiverse gimmicky or what have you.
BioShock Infinite peaked with the Barbershop Quartet, and then it was never as good
Beach
again.
Boys stuff.
When I saw the Beach Boys and they did God Only Knows, I was like, oh, this is
I like the part where there's a tear in the universe and Credence is coming out of it.
Yeah,
that's my favorite part.
It's like when you got to the movie theater and it said Revenge of the Sith instead of Revenge of the Jedi instead of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Is BioShock 4 going to advance the video game porn scene the same way that BioShock Infinite did?
It will try, but I don't know if it ever will.
BioShock Infinite had a porn scene?
Yes, people created whole new programs and systems to create
I thought you were saying
3D model porn because of Elizabeth.
I thought you were saying there was a scene in the game that was pornographic.
No,
I don't remember that.
Elizabeth is in so much Steam filmmaker porn on the internet. It is wild. It's hard to explain. Well, Jan, you're the one that told me about it.
BioShock Infinite walked so Overwatch could run.
Exactly.
Your sources, man. What the fuck?
Pokemon's this is messed up. Pokemon's sleep tracking app has generated $100 million in a year.
They monetize sleep.
Pokemon Sleep, yeah, right? Oh, Pokemon Sleep, a sleep tracking app, has reportedly generated over $100 million in revenue within a week of its first anniversary. Japanese users contributed the most in revenue, accounting for $73 million, followed by the U.S. with $15 million, and Taiwan with $4 million.
They fucking love to sleep in Japan.
They love Taiwan's big on sleep too. The app has been downloaded by 10 million users, with a significant portion based in Japan, the U.S., and Taiwan. Pokemon Sleep allows players to catch Pokemon based on their sleep patterns and rewards them with a sleep score. Players can upgrade their experience through a Snorlax minigame and premium pass. The idea of they found a way to charge us during our sleep really is the most upsetting thing I've thought about in quite some time.
Insane.
They're min-maxing their sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But you think you're going to use that money to make the next mainline Pokemon game not ass?
Fuck no.
No?
Shit.
Absolutely not.
They're going to make sleep too.
All right, I'm interested. The Xbox TV app is now available on Amazon Fire Sticks. The Xbox TV app is now available on those sticks, allowing Game Pass Ultimate members in over 25 countries to stream Xbox games to their Fire TV devices without buying a console. Players can install the Xbox app, sign in with their Microsoft account, and connect a controller to play. Supported controllers include the Xbox wireless controller, the adaptive controller, and even the PlayStation DualSense. Microsoft's shelved Xbox streaming device, codenamed Keystone, was initially announced in 2021, but was deprioritized due to cost concerns. Wasn't announced. The people have been pointing to this story a little bit. We know cloud gaming's been happening for a long time. They've been trying to make it a bigger deal. Mostly, there's an advertising campaign for this that says no console required, and people are really honing in on this again to be like, Microsoft doesn't care if it sells Xboxes, and it's like, yeah, duh, they've been doing that for a while. But I mean, I don't know. Any chance you guys ever play Xbox games on an Amazon Fire device?
No,
No.
I've been so anti-cloud gaming forever, and it's like there's that last mile problem with cloud gaming that it feels like we've been on that last mile now for over a decade.
And we will be, yes.
And we still will be. But there's also just like, it's like even if you are there, there's even just like the threat of it. I'm just constantly like, I'm playing cloud, and I'm like thinking like, oh, is there latency or not? Maybe there is. It's just like that's maybe a me problem that I can't stop even thinking about it, but it's just not for me.
You know what I hate about it? It takes forever for the games to start. I try to start a game on Xbox Cloud streaming, and it's like, okay, we're spinning it up for you, and it's like 5 minutes, or it feels like 5 minutes, and I'm like, well, okay, never mind. I don't feel like playing anymore. This is crazy.
Because like the only time I've ever used the cloud gaming, like you have to do the shortcut on your phone or whatever. It's not an app. Is Fortnite, and like, so would you be able to just play Fortnite on a TV?
Yeah, definitely. You could do that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a circumstance where like that would happen, but like that's maybe the one thing I would do.
I think the there are definitely other streaming services that are similar or better, and GeForce Now is one that people always point out. Like when GPUs were really expensive there during the pandemic, I was always telling people just go use GeForce Now instead of buying a new computer right now. You can get all it works really well, and you get all the benefits of a new GPU. Xbox's streaming offerings have just not really been up to snuff compared to something like that. So, I think I probably would not be using this. Disney announces Pixel RPG for mobile. Disney Interactive and Gung Ho Entertainment have unveiled Disney Pixel RPG, a free-to-play mobile game available for registration in Japan now. The game features Disney characters navigating a world disrupted by an unknown program with some items requiring payment. Weird. Confirmed characters include Pooh, Genie, Princess Aurora, Stitch, Maleficent, and Ariel. Players can customize avatars using Disney-inspired costumes and classic characters like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, who will also be present. The game's global pre-registration date is yet to be announced. What is this?
I mean, it looks like one of those gotcha kind of turn-based RPG games. But it's the whole pixel aspect of it. I'm old, so I like that. It's also cute because it's like, oh yeah, so this is Mickey from the world of a fantasy RPG. This is Ariel, how she would look from a rhythm game. Like they're very specific about that.
And it is very much like Super Nintendo pixels, right? Kind of.
Mm-hmm. So it looks kind of neat. Of course, I'm like, a bit skeptical of it because it's just, mobile RPG gotcha stuff. But the direction of this seems somewhat promising. I also like that it seems pretty pure, like Disney feature animation. I don't even know if they've like brought up Pixar yet in anything I've seen, but it's not like Star Wars and Marvel or fucking Ice Age or what, like from Fox, right? It's like the pretty strict, like the most Disney stuff.
What do you have against Ice Age?
Shit, it's bad. I don't like that. I don't like that little nut fucker. What's his name? Scratch?
Sid?
No, no. Who knows?
I'm not defending Ice Age.
I hate Raymond. I hate that everybody loves.
Everybody hates Raymond, huh?
I'm the one who hates him, especially when he's a woolly mammoth. That really makes me pissed.
Like a Dragon Studio says, fans will be surprised by its next game. Ryo Gakutoku Studio teased its next title at Anime Expo's Essence of Fandom event, which is a dumb name. The studio hinted that it will surprise fans, but didn't reveal the game's genre. Fans believe the next game is the next Like a Dragon title, not a different franchise. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, the latest entry, was released earlier this year to critical acclaim. Basically, they're teasing it, said fans will be surprised by what comes next. Really not much more information, but I guess that opens up the table. What do you guys want from Like a Dragon next? Because I kind of want, I want them to kind of stay on this path that they've been on with the turn-based RPG. But if they try something, I also trust them. So what do you think?
I want it to be weird. Yeah. Just stay weird.
Stay weird, exactly. Yes. What were you going to say, Mike?
Do you think like they literally mean like a Dragon 9 or another spinoff? Because they do quite a few of those.
They do a lot of spinoffs. Yes, I think it'll be a spinoff, right? Because we're probably a ways away from 9.
Maybe it'll be Tiles, Jan.
I was thinking about how they could incorporate tiles, but I like what they've done with like the combat in Infinite Wealth though, because like positioning matters, of course, in tactics, but like I like how they move and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tactics, it was just like, face their back, Infinite Wealth, I really love the way they did combat.
Right, it's like chaining one hit into another, and then
knocking someone into someone,
and then making sure that person it gets close to one of your teammates, then they go in and do a follow-up attack, and
it's good.
Yeah, Mike, you asked me what my favorite games were earlier, or like a few weeks ago, and I forgot that this game came out this year. This is still one of my top 3 games. I think it's up there.
I wonder what they could do, because the later in the game you get with Kiryu, it's almost not as much of a turn-based game in some aspects of it. So
it gets right. It's not a turn-based game at all with that Kiryu stuff.
What if it's more Dandoko Island?
All right,
standalone Dandoko.
Yeah,
go all the way in real time, Sun and Moon. So, all that.
Dandoko City.
Oh
man, that shit ruled too. What a good game, man.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for the news. I'm handing this show back over to Jan Ochoa, who's running this joint.
I'm gonna take it, and it needs to be aired out real quick. It smells like cigarettes for some reason.
Smells like that nut fucker.
All right, we're gonna go to break now. Emails after this.
I'm looking at Piano 3 on
I
the
just looked
internet
it
right
up.
now. And like she's black and white, just like piano keys.
That's such a stretch.
Grub,
Piano.
maybe we
Piano.
do this tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, I'll play Piano 3 on this
Is the
video game
soundtrack
website.
piano heavy? Is there any other
I
indication?
don't know.
There's only one way to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll play it. We'll play it on the site, and then we'll put it. We'll come to a judgment. We'll come to a decision.
There's
to
just
see
no
how
way.
big
There's
the
just no
piano-
way.
There
Why
is
not?
no way.
Why
Like,
is it so impossible to even?
Yeah,
It
why
doesn't
is
have
it
anything
like
to do with
there's no
pianos.
way?
It's even just the wordplay part of it is a stretch. No,
It's there.
absolutely not.
Say
What
the
if it
name
is, though,
fast.
Dan?
Say the name fast, Dan.
PN03.
That's not.
That was fast. That was so slow.
That's the slowest anyone's ever said Piano 3.
Look, I just had surgery. It hurts to talk fast.
Oh, I get it. Bombcast
yeah.
Bomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. You can tell us whether or not you think Piano 3 is a reference to a piano or a different musical instrument or whatever else. Send emails about virtually anything. Your favorite sandwich order. Send us Yelp links to your favorite bar or barbecue joints. People write in about any and everything to the Bombcast email address, and I read all of them because I have to unsubscribe to a lot of lists. First email comes from DW. They write in about the PS2. DW writes, "Hello, Bombinos. My 11-year-old nephew wants to get a PS2 for Christmas. While I still have mine,
That's a cool kid.
most of my games are kind of hard to find JRPGs, and I don't think those would be his style. So what PS2 games would you get an 11-year-old boy in 2024? Extra info, his favorite band is Nirvana, and he has started to play guitar. My picks,
Turtle Man.
sure,
Yeah.
Tony Hawk 3, 4, and Underground, since I think he would like these soundtracks.
Of course.
Those are incredible choices. Also, an 11-year-old Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely the first Jack and Daxter for sure, and like the Sly Cooper games and the Ratchet and Clank games.
God of War
those
1 and 2.
Oh, those would all be good. You're just slightly higher age than I think is appropriate to have all stuff. There's a sex mini game in God of War. There's nipples.
It's still
you would
very
not
cartoonish.
show an 11-year-old just breasts. You wouldn't.
I was definitely at 11. I was nothing but R and adult, like Mortal Kombat, and
Yeah, but Dan, we're on the internet. You have to say I would not do that real quick for me. Just say I would not show an 11-year-old breast, please.
Well, no. But if I was an 11-year-old boy, I'd be seeking this stuff out.
Yes, 100%.
Like I did.
Yes, same here. Yes.
Katamari Damacy, that's another good one, chat. Thank you very much. I
Get
think
your
that'd be good.
nephew two things. One, a booklet full of PS2 demo discs. And
I got one
unleash
of
the
those.
world
Yeah.
of demos to this child. And get the bouncer. Come on, what are we doing?
Bouncer, guitar, Mr. Mosquito, Snake
There's
Eater.
got to be like just get him a modded PS2 that has all the games on it.
all
honestly.
the GTAs, the GTA, the 3 PS2 ones are
Oh
excellent.
yeah,
11 years old. They're not good. No, don't play
I was
Grand
playing
Theft
GTA
Auto.
at 11.
I mean,
11,
look at
11
you.
can play Grand Theft Auto. Come on.
I was
You're a
11 when
mess.
I played the first Grand Theft Auto.
He can play Grand Theft Auto,
The
but
car
not
just
on
rocks
our
when you're with the hooker.
recommendation.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
There
fine.
Sex
are
worker.
like 5,000 PS2 games. We can recommend him ones that don't have hookers and drugs.
Maximo.
It's tough.
Maximo's going to be too
Maximo,
difficult.
he's
That's a hard game.
underpants. Oh no.
Ridge Racer 5. There.
Flip Nick and get really into triple paddle pong.
Rumble Roses. Right?
Yeah.
Smackdown, here comes the pain. NBA
BMX
Street.
Triple X.
NBA Street.
Oh, the
NBA
PS2
Street
game we
Volume 2,
played
yeah.
that one time, Downhill Domination.
I know Domination.
Yeah.
Sure.
Amplitude and Frequency, or just Guitar Hero even. Those are
Twisted
on
Metal
there.
Black.
Should we just play a bunch of
RE4?
PS2
RE4?
games tomorrow instead, Grub?
You,
We
okay,
can
Dan,
just do
you
it.
don't
We
want
can do that PS2 GameCube generation stream.
Dan, you don't want to play the PS2 version of Resident Evil.
It's
4.
solid, and it's got the Ada Wong
It's,
stuff.
yeah.
It's fine. I reviewed it. I remember saying like this is actually pretty.
Oh.
I prefer the GameCube one, but yes, the PS2 one's totally fine. Bully.
X-Men Legends 2. Oh shit!
Looking at my
I want to
games.
do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
of Kree.
Ooh,
A
Zone
modded
of the Enders
PS2
and
with like
Freak This Kid's
600
brain
games
out.
on it from Etsy is $300.
Dan, I appreciate
Whoa.
I appreciate you not saying the bouncer.
He
I
already
did say
did.
the
That's the
bouncer.
first
Oh,
thing he
shit.
said.
Yeah,
Damn
it
it!
is.
Don't,
Wow,
I'm
thanks
gonna
for
jump
listening,
in. I was probably looking at my games. No, don't play the bouncer. It's terrible.
play the
Mortal
Bouncer.
Kombat
Very
Deception's a good one.
God, it's terrible. Wait, which one's the one with the Mortal Kombat like puzzle fighter clone? Is that Deception?
I think that might be Deception.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
that's
ton of
good.
minigame stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of
God
good
Hand.
PS2
You
games.
got a modded PS2.
I was just thinking that, Grub, like, because I've got all these games, but it'd be nice to just have a modded PS2 with everything on a hard drive.
Yeah, then that's the way I would go. If I were to like get back into like original hardware in a big way, I would just be getting EverDrives and modded systems that have everything on them. On the
I
hard
did that
drive.
to my Dreamcast and my GameCube, and it was awesome. But every time I
Yes.
look up the PS2 one, it's like I think like soldering is involved or something.
Right, so I'm just like, yeah, buy one of these off Etsy. Who gives a
Simpsons
shit?
Hit and Run
Shit,
is
yeah.
good. Pac-Man World 2 is actually a very good 3D.
Good Ace
platformer
Combat's on
I
there.
can get it today by paying $75 if I use Klarna.
Klarna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of good PS2. I definitely think though for an 11-year-old, like Jack and Dexter 1, Ratchet and Clanks, the Sly Coopers are going to be your best bets.
Fucking Dark Cloud 2.
Dark Cloud 2, that's a lot.
Psyops.
I need to play Dark Cloud. Oh, is Rogue Galaxy good? I never played that. I want to play
I
Rogue
like
Galaxy.
People-
it.
yeah, people
not
were
as much
into
as Dark Cloud, but Rogue, yeah.
Yeah, I got to play
Pretty.
Rogue Galaxy sometime.
Auto Modelista, perhaps.
I've been trying to get that for GameCube. Did I ever get it?
I thought you
Might have got
no, maybe you just mentioned it.
No, I got it. I did
You
get
got
it.
it, okay.
It's over there. All right, I
Okay.
got to play it still. Got a lot of old games I need to play still.
It's bad when you buy something you forget now. Like
I think
if
I
you're
got
that
it
point
the
of
same-
collecting.
I think I got that the same day as Cuba 4, so
That
kind of
sounds
like,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
you know.
Oh,
Cuba War Day, yeah.
Got in the shadow there a little bit.
always a bridesmaid, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, the best answer, honestly, I think is they already named it themselves. Tony Hawk, like 3 specifically, I think, like that has aged so well.
Do you think it'd be worth it to get his 11-year-old nephew Guitar Hero?
Yeah, if he likes guitars that much, I mean,
I think it's timeless. Yeah.
I think there's got to be enough Guitar Hero controllers out there used that aren't very expensive, and the game can't be that much. I'm sure Guitar Hero would go over pretty well.
Be a weird, cool uncle and get him a DDR pad.
Yeah, DDR is great.
Yeah.
I could just never feel good on those home DDR pads. They would just slide all over the place.
That's how I learned how to play, so I got used to it.
Yeah, I could just never figure it out. I never got into DDR because that's why I was always playing Samba de Amigo.
Yeah.
I imported Guitar Freaks for my PlayStation 1, which was like the Japanese guitar game that preceded Guitar Hero. I remember when I first saw a preview for Guitar Hero on GameSpot, I was like, they're making a Guitar Freaks clone. How lazy.
I'm trying to think if I've played DDR outside of that Mario one, and I feel like I must have done it on the site at some point, but I might be thinking of just playing Punch Out
We do a
with
DDR
it.
stream tomorrow.
Yeah, just got a pad right there. He's ready to go.
And it's
When we
USB, and I can plug it in my computer, and I have like that DDR app, basically, where you can just have any song from all the
have
games.
that?
Yeah, I have
Including
it
from
all
the
the time.
Mickey
It's
ones?
my exercise.
Can you do It's a Small World?
I have done It's a Small World.
Hell yeah.
Yes. I did a bunch of the Disney ones because the kids wanted to play.
Are they cool?
Do they have Creed?
Listen, if you need Creed, I can get you Creed.
Do you want to be taken higher? Or do you want to show your newborn son everything?
I just want my arms wide open, you know?
Look at this photograph. Wait, that's not them.
No, that's not them.
Adjacent.
You can still look at the photograph. Next email comes from Alex from Colorado. Hey, Bombardiers. The subject read, want to feel old?
No.
The other day, I saw someone say that they were feeling nostalgic for Undertale.
Oh, fuck
Oh, no.
you.
I was about to rebuke that. Undertale is hardly old enough for nostalgia, but then I realized it came out 9 years ago.
That's
Meaning,
bad.
if you played Undertale when you were 10, you would potentially be in college now.
That's fucked up.
Sorry, go on.
While I'm being crushed under the treads of time, I thought I would share existential dread. Hope you all have a swell day, Alex from Colorado. P.S. Sometimes I feel bad that I live in a state with recreational marijuana and don't partake myself. Is that weird?
No.
No.
Mike's in a state where coffee's legal and he doesn't drink that, so.
Yeah, it's fine. No, you're doing a good thing. You're going to get to go to heaven. So
Right,
it's
yeah,
fine.
you're not sinning. Yeah.
I was thinking about how, like, you know, my cutoff for like retro is like I don't consider 360 and beyond retro. And then I
That's got to
realized,
change
like,
someday.
but that's the thing. I realized that like there was almost around the same period of time between like when I was playing 360 in college. I remember like the NES was the most retro thing I could think of.
You want to
know,
do some math? Yeah,
and
go ahead,
now
keep
it's
going.
like between like the 360 is pretty much as old now as the NES was when the 360 was out, which is,
It is.
fucking nuts to think
Yes.
about. Jesus.
Yeah, so
No.
like, hey, like, like what would be like a big Xbox 360 early game?
Perfect Dark Zero cameo.
Lost
Call of
Planet.
Duty 2. Call of Duty 2.
Yeah, like Call of Duty 2 is as old now as like Super Mario Brothers was when Call of Duty 2 came out.
It's just so
Dead
weird.
Rising.
Like,
Yeah.
10 years used to be so dense in this industry. All like Metal Gear Solid 1 through 4 came out in a 10-year window. Wow. And like Metal Gear Solid 4 was treating Metal Gear Solid 1 as like this ancient nostalgic
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And now 10 years is just like how long it's going to take for most of these big franchises in between installments,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Like it was like 7 or 8 years between Zeldas these days. So it used to just be like, oh, after so and many years, it's retro, and like it's changed for so many reasons, like, you know, the diminishing returns of technology and just how long it takes games to get made.
But on that note, you know, Dead Rising now being what almost 20 years old, I realized I fucking loved Dead Rising, and I watched that trailer for the remake, and I'm like, you know what? I am way in the mood right now
Yes.
for a
Yeah.
new Dead Rising.
Same here.
Oh, sure.
Like, especially a remake of the first one. It's been long
Yep.
enough.
Yeah.
I haven't touched that game in fucking almost 20 years.
Yeah, that's gonna rule. I'm
Yeah.
also in the mood for that.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
very excited for that.
the tone is amazing of those games.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dan. Where for a while, I'm like, that's my cutoff is like 360 PS3, but it's like starting to get there. Like, no, some of that stuff is definitely kind of retro now. Like Dead Rising 1 is pretty retro at this point, I think.
360 and Wii and PS3 is my cutoff for retro collecting, and I think I'm going to keep it that way because otherwise, well, first of all, that's also around the time where you start moving more into digital stuff, and I don't have nostalgia for like, holding this physical copy of this PS4 game. No, I probably downloaded it, you know?
Plus all the Xbox 360s and PS3s broke anyway, so what are we going to do, right? Yeah. They're all destroyed.
Next email is a request for help from Brian in Westerville, Ohio. Hey, dudes. I've been contemplating picking up a retro handheld gaming device where I could put all of my incredibly legitimate game backups from older systems, but every time I look at purchasing one, I'm barraged by a list of consoles with varied stats and abilities. What one is right for me? Anbernic sells 21 types of handhelds with different internals that are only divided up by a giant list of text. Do I just pick up a Steam Deck instead? Do I pick up their version of a Steam Deck? Duders, I'd love some help if you got ideas. Thanks a bunch. Brian in Westerville, Ohio. Sent from my desk during work hours.
Hey, Brian, I live in Westerville South. Hello, from a fellow Westerville person.
God, big day for
Grub,
Westerville.
this is something we're becoming increasingly knowledgeable about.
Yes, right. The first thing is don't overthink it. Yes, they sell a million different devices. Look, find the one that looks good to you, and then double check with external resources, Retro Game Core, Retro Dodo. Go to their list and make sure that the device you're looking at is relatively recent. You can cross-reference the model number and stuff like that. But they reuse the same internals basically on a lot of their devices. Like the last 4 Anbernic devices have all used the same chipset. So you're getting basically the same thing in a different form factor. So emphasize the form factor and make sure it can play the games you want to play. And you're not going to be able to do that by going to Anbernic's website. Go to Retro Game Core.
And also, like, decide how much work you want to put into, because, like, Grub, I know you and I are freaks about configuring everything and making just everything. Like,
I'm losing my luster for that, though. I'm at a point where I'm like, I kind of just want things to just work when I get it. So.
I can't tell you how many times I've looked through, like, a folder of, like, NES games and being like, all right, let's just do just the US releases and just this and not these. And so, like, if you do, like, a Steam Deck, yeah, you can do a lot with it, but you do need to, like, you're going to have to watch some YouTube videos. It's not that hard to do. You just follow instructions, basically. But a lot of these things you buy, and they come loaded up with a lot of stuff.
Anbernic specifically comes like around 600 games or something like that.
But it cracks me up because, like, I got that SP1 and I was looking through everything, and it's like, yeah, it's got a lot, but then, like, no Marios, no Zeldas, no Donkey Kongs, no, like, certain companies that might be litigious, they're not on there, but every Konami, Capcom, Sega thing you can imagine loaded to the gills. But yeah. So, I mean, but in that case, if you buy something that has a lot and you just want, your favorite Marios or whatever, it's easy enough to get
and the folders are already there. It's already set up. Now, that said, you can get even more of these devices by going and finding your own, custom-made OSs and stuff like that exist and are better in some ways, but I haven't done that on my SP because, again, I just got it. It works. It has a lot of the games I want. Like Dan said, it's missing a few things, but I just grab those, throw them on there real quick, and I'm good to go. But if you're trying not to overthink this, Anbernic, just pick one that looks cool to you, and you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah, and then it's just like lots of little things where it's like, okay, there's game room and then RA game here, and you have to learn like, go to RA game because they have this, like, they all have their own weird OS quirks and stuff that you just figure out. It's not that hard really. Like those Anbernics are cool.
Yep, the RA game is RetroArch, and that's usually you're gonna have to experiment once you have it a little bit, but it ends up just working for the most part.
Next email comes from Jeremiah. We're just talking about the Steam Deck for a little bit, but they ask for some hot recs. Hey, Bombers, I recently got a Steam Deck, and I'm absolutely loving it. I can't believe I didn't get this sooner. Do you have any favorite games that you prefer playing on the deck instead of a traditional PC?
Yes.
So far, my favorite games are Dead Cells, Dredge, Emu Deck. Bonus question, do any of you use a dock to connect your Steam Deck to your TV? If you do, what kind of dock do you use? What's your favorite controller to use it with it? Love the show. Jeremiah from Michigan.
Yes to all this stuff.
Yes, same here.
So Hollow Knight, I know I was playing in bed for a long time just because I was recovering, but like now that I'm not, it's like I still prefer to, like, that's my game where it's like I'll have Raw on or a pay-per-view or something, and I'll just be playing the Hollow Knight on the Steam Deck, and that's a great way to play it.
It's a good second screen kind of game because you can, if you're not mainlining stuff, there's just a lot of exploration to do.
Yeah.
Yep. And the dock thing, I don't use too often, but we've recently I have one, and they're not that expensive. I think it's like $40 or something.
You can get like a cheap dock, and it'll just work. It's just USB-C video, so don't spend too much on the dock.
Yeah, and we have found use cases for that. Obviously, if you want to travel and hook up to a hotel, you can. But like, Bonk has her gaming PC up like in her office for like work stuff, but sometimes she just wants to play on the big screen down in the living room, and it's like, oh, okay, well here, just log on to your Steam account on your Steam Deck, throw it in this dock, and it plays it just fine on the TV.
Yep. So I'm glad this question got asked because this is one thing I didn't mention in what we've been playing because I'm like, it's mostly older stuff. But I use the dock that I have basically for the first time, really for anything other than like setting up ROMs and stuff like that. We were traveling, knew a bunch of family were going to be in town, and I just basically took the kid that lives at the house had a Switch, so we just unplugged the cables for that. I plugged that into the Steam Deck dock. Put the Steam Deck in, and we were playing, a bunch of Jackbox games and stuff like that.
Nice.
We did Animal Party or Party Animals, whatever that one is called, and Heave Ho with a 7-year-old. I just showed him the fart button, and it was just like we basically accomplished nothing after that.
Yep.
And it was great. It worked really, really, really well. There was a couple of hiccups with some of the controllers not functioning exactly right, but I was surprised. I'm like, this is just such a good experience. They've really updated it to kind of just make it very seamless. So. I was of the opinion like, well, no, I have a computer. I'm probably never going to use the Steam Deck for that stuff. But it's like when I'm traveling, I'm going to take the Steam Deck probably with me anyway. Why not just take one more little thing instead of like a whole other like gaming laptop?
Yeah.
And it worked really, really well. And then if a game can run on the Steam Deck, I want to play it on the Steam Deck or one of these other handheld devices that I have because of work, because it's just so much more convenient for me. So I played all of Elden Ring basically on the Steam Deck and was zero issue. And yeah, so I when a game doesn't run on Steam Deck these days, that usually means I'm probably not going to be able to stick with it. So that's where I'm at.
It's surprising how good Elden Ring runs on that.
I was hearing like horror stories about the DLC, and it's like, well, no, I'm playing. It's fine. It's like, okay, there's a couple of things like the controls stopped working, so there's these bugs. But other than that, it just runs really well on there.
Yeah.
Any RPG, fantastic on this device.
Oh yeah.
You like visual novel style games? Perfect. Treat this bad boy
Inspired type stuff.
Balatro. The Steam Deck.
Balatro, Vampire Survivors. God, there's so many. It really is a dream.
I was like most impressed by Ace Combat 7 on Steam Deck. I was like, this is running really well. And this is like, in my mind, it's like still like a real big boy game. Like, never on the Switch, right? So like Ace Combat 7 on Steam Deck was really cool to me. That's a game you'll find on sale.
A game that
Sports
really
games. I'm playing a season of Super Mega Baseball 4 on there right now, like that sort of thing.
A game that really impressed me on the Steam Deck. I know we just talked about Elden Ring running really well, but Armored Core, performing super well on that as well. Oh my god!
God, I liked Armored Core 6. That game was so fun.
Damn, I want to replay it. I didn't
cool.
replay it to like get all the endings. And
I really did just play through it once, but I loved it.
Me too.
We got a bunch of lovely emails, and I love and appreciate all of them, and I love and appreciate everyone that sends an email to the Giant Bombcast. Once again, that email address is bombcast@giantbomb.com. We got a bunch of miscellaneous things about like collections and mods and Elden Ring and Nintendo Live. Sure, go to it.
Yeah, go to it. It's fun.
God, I copied the whole email instead of the fucking. 1 second. All right. Last email from the show comes from Anthony in Australia. They write in about seasons. What are seasons? Whenever you guys note a release window as a season, I have to do mental arithmetic to figure out what that converts to in Southern Hemisphere terms. Fall equals autumn minus autumn to 6 months equals spring equals Octoberish, right? Anyway, when was the last time you were upside down? Anthony from Brisbane, Australia.
I'm taking a break from being upside down currently. Because if I bend over to tie my shoes, or if I'm even remote, all this loose goo in my skull right now, or, all these blood clots and everything, just go up in my brain and it feels real bad. Yeah, I can just feel it all just shift. It's just like a bunch of Nickelodeon gack in my head, and if it shifts around too much, I just feel it all just slide up.
To be more like Nickelodeon foam.
Yeah,
Floam.
Yeah.
Floam. Yeah, a little more structural integrity. Yeah,
right.
Floam, spurt.
I hope to never be upside down again.
I love being upside down usually. I remember that I wanted more upside down at Disney World.
You guys do realize the question's asking, have you ever been to the Southern Hemisphere?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Okay. Listen, we could do a bit. I'm all for doing a bit, but I was just wondering if you guys wanted to answer the question or not.
We were just
down there.
dumb.
No.
I did think about that because I traveled a bit, but it's man, never been on that half of the planet. I know there's way less land.
There is way less land mass down there when you actually look at it.
Is it kind of it is? I kind of feel like a coward where I'm the one place in Southern Hemisphere I want to go is Australia.
That's
The place
where I wanna
that's the most like where I am already, really.
I would rather go to those spiders, and I guess there's a lot of spiders in South America too. But those spiders in Australia get
Las
a lot more
arañas.
get a lot more headlines. and
Man,
it's
I
very
watched
scary.
Arachnophobia a lot as a kid, and I don't know if I want to go where big spiders are.
Yeah, that's very scary to me.
God, I used to work with a bunch of Australians at MythBusters. Like, it was
Oh,
very
yeah?
weird. They tried making Janza happen because they would take someone's name and add ZA to the end.
Okay.
Like we had a
Janza.
Scot.
Like getting Norded by Australians, Australian Norded.
Yeah.
Except they would take like maybe the first two letters, close to the first two letters of your name, and add za. So it wasn't Janza, it was Jazza.
So I'd be
and I'm like-
Daza?
Yeah, you'd be Daza, Gruzza.
So,
Okay,
Giza.
Gruzza's good. Didn't you
Gruzza's
like Between
got
Worlds?
something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not great with
something
Unreal
there.
Engine. I kind of chug a little bit. Man, I thought I went to the Southern Hemisphere, but I just was at the line. I went to Singapore, which is like on the equator, basically.
I don't know
I don't know if you
hemispheres.
know- I don't know. The closest I may have got was I went to Disney's private island on the cruise. That might be the closest I've ever been to the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, I don't think that's definitely not in the Southern Hemisphere.
No,
Been to
definitely not. But
Cabo.
it's as close as I've gotten.
Been to Aruba? That's kind of close, right?
Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you.
you to
Yeah.
Bermuda.
Uh-huh.
Where is
Was Uncle
Aruba?
Jesse there?
Aruba's by South America.
No, they referenced him.
Oh yeah,
but he
yeah.
wasn't
So
there.
yeah, that's close-ish. Yeah,
Okay, Aruba's
It's-
awesome.
yeah. Probably a couple hundred miles from the equator, but yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that about does it for emails. What do we got going on for the rest of this week? Game S Mornings returns, Grub?
Yeah, back tomorrow. Getting into it.
Fantastic. No Blight Club tomorrow. We're figuring out what
Yeah, we'll do
will
some fun stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to be out on assignment, so you all have a great rest of the week.
I have my sister's wedding, so I'll be out.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
UPF this week. We're going to try and have a BCR, but as you know, things will be up in the air. I'm also gone next week, going to Japan.
Sean.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I want to hear about that. Sean just brought up something good. Metal Gear Scanlan.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is something I'm very excited we were able to just make happen very easily. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
good
I say easily. I didn't spend all the hours. Sean had to do all this.
Sean was like, I
"Hey, we
explored
should
it
do
forever.
Yeah.
But good work by everyone involved on this. This was great.
Yeah, it's just, I'm always excited about Metal Gear, but it seems like there's more Metal Gear talk happening because of Delta coming out. And I was like, you know what? That's, I think, one of the best things, at least that I've worked on personally at Giant Bomb, and it's been behind the paywall forever.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck, can we just put it all up on YouTube? And I think it was Sean's idea to all have them as big ass fucking videos, like
Yeah,
Metal Gear
people love
Solid
that shit
5
now.
or Scanlan 5 is like 43 hours long or something insane. So there is a playlist. I'm sure we're getting links in the chat here soon of all of Metal Gear Scanlan, including like the bonus episodes, the Watch and Peace Walkers, so the full season. So if you see season 2, that's Sons of Liberty. 3 is Snake Eater. If you want to watch the entire series of Drew Scanlan, who had never seen or knew anything about Metal Gear, kind of being coached through it by me. It's a real fun time. So check out that YouTube link in the chat. You can watch all of Metal Gear Scanlan for free. I'd like to do other stuff too, but when
Speaking
appropriate.
About fond memories of stuff on the website. Giant Bomb is turning 16 this year, and shouts out to Tom Caswell. Tom Caswell is helping us lead, go down memory lane. So expect to see on various socials, whether it's TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, on Twitter, the staff and friends of the staff, friends of the site, recounting their favorite memories across the website. Across various times of Giant Bomb history. And gentlemen, what did we learn today? We learned that getting older doesn't mean you have to gamble your money away. You can throw it away at games. Maybe you should get your face scooped out so you can enjoy Taco Bell for the first time. And maybe we should respect Phantom Menace more than our own current democracy. Someone should definitely bequeath all of us a house. Beat the meat. Attacky Sax is a fantastic name, and I'm going to name my first child that. Also, we learned to beat it fast. It's not called Spurt, and don't overthink handhelds. Just get all of them. Get one a month while you're at it. And we also learned that Mike Minotti does not love Raymond. Folks, that's what we learned today. Oh no, God, he keeps doing this. The thing I learn every week, I hate the Go XLR now. There we go. Folks, that is it for the Giant Bombcast. I won't see you next week, and I'll miss you. But these fine folk these fine gentlemen will be there. We've got a bunch of lovely stuff gearing up on the website across the board. I've been Shan, he's been Jeff, he's been Mike, he's been Dan, and you have been beautiful. See you next week, everybody. I'm soliciting any last-minute tips for Japan. Apparently, it's supposed to be stupid hot. I'm not equipped for it. I'm ready to sweat.
Do it. Kennywood was hot too. It was rough.
His name is pronounced Ricciardi when you see him.
Wait, what? Don't do this to me?
You actually say it like piano, though.
Yeah, it's piano Ricciardi here.
Piano. Okay. All right.
Get a Ribera jacket. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my. That's one I want to do.
You have to go to
my
Ribera.
God.
I went to both locations. You got to go.
Our dear friend Alex Boniello and I are going to spend too much money together buying jeans. It's going to be cute.
Yeah.
Let's go to Super Potato.
Oh God, I can't. I will though. All right.